about 23,000 people in perfect conditions to watch the big clash between Glenelg and Central Districts in the qualifying final. Cousins got up high towards Simons, taken away by Seabohm. The Bay's the first into attack. Hannam comes to meet the ball, can't trap it. Kernahan gets it over, but the umpire has seen a free kick against Glenelg, and it'll go to Brett Hannam at centre half back. Dennis Russell has pulled out of the Bay side with a virus. His place has been taken by Farquhar as the Bays defend desperately, but it's Phil Graham with the ball on the half-forward line. Graham goes for the short pass, looking for Fraser. It's going over that player's head. Platten can't. Big Carey getting back. Another free kick. This time it's going to the bounding Bulldog. Platten, high tackle. He seemed to run into that one a little bit as he tried to cross the path of the oncoming players. Nevertheless, it would still hurt. And one of the hot favourites for the McGarry medal about to have a shot at goal. He's 35-40 metres out, kicking with the aid of a breeze, possibly worth 2 or 3 goals. Platten to the golf course end. Nice looking drop punt. The umpire said it's home. The Dogs off to a great start. A goal on the board in the first minute. The Bays haven't scored.
Well, Johnny Platten kicked 9 last week, and he's the real spark in the Bulldog side. They're having a look at him at the moment. He appears from a distance to be okay, and he might be one of the stars tomorrow night in Channel 7's exclusive production of the 1984 McGarry medal.
Umpires Hilton and Rick Kinnear in charge. Hilton puts the ball down, a good bounce. Carey's got to wait. Cousins gets the tap away. McDermott tries to get out, can't get clear. Players on top of the ball. Kidney goes and gets it. Meets Platten on the way out, and the umpire will come in for a bounce.
Cousins has been a top player in recent weeks. Carey got that one down. Marshall missed it. Platten again. No one home for the Bulldogs at this stage, though. Oh, yes, coming over the top and taking a fine grab was Connolly. Gee didn't appear to be near the ball. Looked as though Wayne Stringer or Simons may have marked it, but Connolly is a highly skilled player. He's at centre half forward. Can kick a long way. Kicks it right into the teeth of goal. He's got it. That's through. Great start for the Bulldogs. 2 goals without a miss. Glenelg have yet to score.
Well, what a start for the Dogs, and well done, Connolly. It looked like there were 2 Bay players against him there as he's running with the flight of the ball, and it was almost miraculous how he came out with it. The Bays have started with Ross Gibbs in the back pocket, Salisbury in the other one, and of course Chris Duthie at centre half back. Obviously the incoming player Farquhar is on the interchange bench.
The amazing thing, of course, about Farquhar is he played yesterday in the reserves competition. He's allowed to do that. Here he goes again, Platten with his 3rd kick. What a player he is. Coming out again, Fraser. He's caught. That's a good tackle. The Bays will come away through Talbot. Marshall under the ball, missed the mark. There goes David Holst. Good, powerful man he is. He'll kick long. He had Carey but didn't want him. Up they go from behind. The big punch away, McGrath. Van Dommel. The running player Pryor. The Bulldogs look pretty good at this stage. Over the top goes Duthie. No, Salisbury it was, and that was a fine mark. He's been in scintillating form for the Tigers, and he picked out Carey. It's a bit of a push after the event from Butler, but finding it hard to get up the big chap. Philip Graham will have to come back. 15-metre penalty. Carey goes short. Simons, good lead, good pass. Simons a danger player. Uses the left boot. On a lead there is Stephen Copping. No mark. Off hands Krieg. Shot out the long one to Peter Vivian. The veteran. He's played 300-plus games. Wayne Stringer. Fraser got rid of it very quickly. To no avail though. Wayne Stringer picks it up and goes back towards the Glenelg attacking area. Copping no mark. Talbot through. He wobbles one forward. Hannam comes out and picks up beautifully.
A nice kick back towards the half-forward line, but not well directed, and Stringer takes the mark in defence. Carey centre field wants the short pass. Stringer's going to the half-forward line, looking up there for Holst. Simons behind. Bubner there with him. Holst comes out with a footy, but the umpire has paid the mark to David Bubner at centre half-back. Bubner playing centre wing has moved down into defence to get that mark as he kicks it high to the half-forward line, looking for Peter Bubner. But it's John Seabohm who takes the mark. He's got Salisbury and Simons out wide. Simons is the player that's going to get it. Carey wants it in short. He's coming around further. Holst got an awkward bounce on the ball. Under pressure now. Back to Simons. Simons over the half-forward line. No one to kick to. Now Copping leads into the pocket. He won't get there. Right with him, however, is Bungerhern, and the ball goes out of play in the right forward pocket.
Stephen Copping still showing signs of that groin injury. He trained on Thursday night, apparently. Drove down from the country to do that, but I understand he didn't have a run yesterday morning with the players. Kernahan in front of Cousins on that occasion, gets dumped out. The Nosworthy handball is put over towards Brett Hanneman. He clears. He's kicked out on the full though, and that kick will be taken over there by Tony Simons. Gee, the crowd didn't like that one. Up goes Marshall. He's a live wire, and he marks it right half-forward flank. This is his first kick. Puts it in long. He wants Kernahan. The big chap stands his ground. Off hands it goes. That's Rowe. Shoots out the handball now to McGrath. Oh, he's met very heavily. But they'll get out of it through Van Gommel and Nosworthy. I tell you what, the Bulldogs are running better than the Tigers at the moment. They've started very well. That's a shocker, though. It goes straight to Wayne Stringer. There he is, Tony McGuinness. Injured that ankle during the week. 1982 Magarey medalist. He should be back before the season finishes, though. Kernahan couldn't mark. Here's another chance for the Dogs. Vivian, the running player, Pryor, plenty of pace. Oh, he'll go all the way. Puts the big kick up. Oh, he's kicked it. That's a goal from the half-back. And what a big beginning here for the Dogs. There's 3 goals now. The Tigers have yet to score.
Are they ever bounding, Peter? That was brilliant rebound play by Pryor. He came off the half-back line. The Bay's in trouble through the centre there. The handball came out, and gee, he made 10 metres, drove across the half-forward line, and a magnificent kick for goal, and the Bulldogs off to a magnificent start. 3 goals in the first 6 minutes of play. Glenelg hasn't scored.
The Bulldogs are kicking with what breeze there is, but it's not too significant. Cousins shoots it over the top. Nosworthy kicks clear. McFarlane gets back on the ball, and it's a fine grab. Platt was right with him, but McFarlane's been a good, safe defender for most of the year for the Tigers. Kicks into the centre of the ground. He wants Super Carey. Cousins went for the spoil. Talbot in trouble. That's holding the ball. They were right on him.
Gee, Peter, there's about 3 Bulldogs to every Bay player around the fall of the ball at the moment. Trevor Rowe gets a long kick away to the half-forward line. Bubner in front, can't bring it down. He's in trouble there. In goes Nosworthy. High tackle on that player. Bubner gets it out. Connolly a chance. Back up support. Van Dommel. Likewise Graham on the left leg. Goes for home with a long one. The umpire says number 4's on the board. Brilliant play for the Dogs. Forward out of miss. And that's his first.
Well, they're winning in every department, the Dogs, but particularly they're running. They're all running. They've got players up for the ball on that occasion. Out of the packet came Philip Graham. He's a real star around the forward area. Got it onto his left boot. It was dead straight. We're 8 minutes in. The Dogs 4 goals, leading the Bays yet to score.
Gee, what a start. Carey against Cousins. The Bays can't get it out of the centre circle. Not yet in any case. The ball comes across here to Connolly. Tries to chance his arm. Motlop under pressure there. The ball comes now to Krieg. Krieg kick away's not good fortuitously. Bubner up towards full forward. Duthie getting back, thumps it clear. Gibbs in defence, close to the lines. Got to beat Fraser. Wobbles one around the corner, and it goes out of play. The Bay defence under full stretch at the moment. Gee, the attack's coming in waves. Neil would be happy with their start. 4 goals in 8 minutes. Bubner, Nosworthy at the back. Right to play for a free. Van Dommel hooks around the corner up towards Mould. 1-2. He's got it. Oh, gee, what a start. He boots this, and they've got 5 in 9 minutes. And the Bays have got real problems. There it goes. His first, their 5th. 5 goals to nothing.
Well, one wonders whether any side can recover from this sort of deficit, particularly if you look at the way the sides are playing. Moulds got 4 last week. He's a big man at full forward. He could worry Duthie. When the quick kick came away, Moulds was in front in his strength and height and body power enabled him to take the mark. So the Dogs are 5 goals. Glenelg yet to score, and the Bays will really need to do something very quickly.
Peter, they've got to find a running player. At the moment, they haven't got one. The Bulldogs have got 18 of them. Carey gets the thump away, half-forward line. McDermott got bowled. In goes Marshall. The ball goes out from Bubner, taken by Simons. Here's a chance. Marshall, Kernahan. Kernahan has got out clear. No, he doesn't want it. Goes for home. He's got one. And do you think the Bays ever needed that? He Got a move from Kidney going down the outer side there, but Kernahan was positive, and he got a much-needed goal on the board for the Bays.
Well, the Bays did that well too. Desperation in there. Big Super Carey got the thump away. When Marshall got it and Kernahan was on his own, that was all they needed. So the Bays can score quickly, there's no doubt about that, but it's being won and lost in the centre. The Bays need to get it out of the middle if they're going to compete with the Dogs. The Dogs are really on fire. 5 goals to 1.
Carey's got 4 knocks, but seldom are the Bays taken out of the square. Let's see what he can do on this occasion. Cousins against Carey. Another good bounce. Carey gets the tap to Motlop, but he finds it himself. Gets it out now. Platten thieves it off. Marshall gave a charge. Connolly, now Pryor around the corner, getting back Seabohm. Can't take the mark, but he's got a breather. Out wide is Stringer. That's the way the ball will travel. He's going to have to work hard. He's got it half-back flank.
It's a good grab and a good kick from Seabohm. Wayne Stringer, half-back flank. We're past 10 minutes. Wayne Stringer's 4th kick. He looks for Kernahan. He gets front spot. Thought he might have taken the mark. Hannum got rid of it very quickly. Off they go again. Vivian puts it up for Moulds. Oh, he should have marked it. May have been unsided. Nosworthy missed with a kick off the ground. He wants a free kick. Moulds gets rid of it. Salisbury to Gibbs. And the Bays will get out of it. Holst is clear. Gibbs can't find him though. Now Holst gets there. He's got Simons clear. Big David Holst gets around the player. Tony Simons has got a paddock. He'll take off. He'll put it up high. Copping's on the lead. Great work, Stephen Copping. And gee, the Bays were in trouble then, but they got out of it. Copping's going to put it across towards Motlop. He's off after the ball now. Had it, then he lost it. Through goes McDermott. Platten fights hard for the ball. He's going to get a free kick. He'll get one for a high tackle. But Platten will take it from the right half-back flank. Well, the Bays are reeling at the moment. They're trailing by 4. With 12 minutes in, Platten goes out long. Stringer from behind. A good grab in front by Stephen Connolly. He's kicked a goal. He's a fine player. G. Cousins on his own in the middle. Connolly goes longer for Bubner. They go. Carey from behind. He'll get rid of it quickly. Marshall in trouble. Shoots it out. McFarlane. He has to get rid of it quickly. Cousins. Van Dobble's ducked. Lucky. He'll go long. He wants Moulds. Won't quite get him. Doothy's there also. Salisbury. Doothy in trouble. Oh, lucky to get away with that. Salisbury goes in hard. They're all going in hard. And umpire Kinnear will bounce it.
I agree with you, Peter. A lot of physical clashes. Both teams desperate, but the Bays not running at the moment. Down 4 goals. Thump away. Seabohm. Simons gives the lead on the outer side. Bubner's got to go get him. Simons and Bubner. It's a match in 2. Simons uses his body well. There's no one within 20 metres of these 2 players. Simons plays it well and wins the free kick. Simons on the left leg, puts out the pass. Copping on the lead. That's well done. Copping too far out to score. Off goes Stringer. He's going in towards Kernahan. At the back haul, couldn't get it. Quickly in now, Talbot. The tackle is high. Kernahan. But Talbot's going to get the free kick. And he also could be too far out to score into this breeze. But he'll find Holst in short. Holst could kick it with his long one. Oh, gee, he's not confident. He's looking for a lead. Tony Hall gave him one, but now Holst decides to shoot for goal. He's about 45 metres out into the breeze. It's not all that strong. Worth a goal or 2. A big kick by Holst, starting to hold up into the breeze. Kernahan in the square. Great mark, Hannum. Not Hannum, that is Cousins. In defence, fine mark over Kernahan.
You've got to be good to outmark Stephen Kernahan. Cousins is very good though. He goes out and finds Rowe. Gets a great kick from the big man. He really put that right on his chest. Trevor Rowe, the man that does the checking jobs. Oh, that's not clever football. Platten under pressure. The kick away from Kidney was smothered. Platten's in there fighting hard. Alan Stringer got it out. Motlop. Holster's got another chance. He's smothered. He got the high one. Hannum was involved. Also McGrath, and Holster's going to get the free kick. Gee, he was lucky. He had absolutely nowhere to go. Hannum's tackle was okay. I think the free kick may have been against McGrath. I couldn't really pick it up from here. May have been a fraction lucky then, but the kick is a good one. Dead centre. 2 goals, Glenelg. The Dogs 5 goals.
Incredible. 7 goals without a miss. Holst a little lucky. Had nowhere to go. He back turned into trouble. 3 Bulldog defenders got him. The Hannum tackle was good, as Peter said, but a high tackle came in. The umpire ruled in favour of Holst, and at last the Bays are steadying somewhat. Gee, what an onslaught they got from the Dogs. 5 goals plays 2, and we've played 15 minutes of the first quarter of the qualifying final.
It's very open, free-moving football at this stage. No accent on defence at all. Off hands Krieg, a good kick away. Seabohm couldn't quite stretch for that one. Salisbury did it well. He's going to use the left boot. He wants Alan Stringer and finds him. Good body work, Stringer. He's gone. He's in big trouble. Tries to get it out. Talbot will get a free kick for a push. Gee, Stringer showed a lot of strength in to get that ball out. He was in a lot of trouble. Copping's going to be too short for that one, and the easy mark taken by the backman out there for the Dogs in Van Dommel.
Van Dommel at centre-half back at the moment. Comes grandstand side to the lead of Graham. McFarlane there with him. Graham taps the ball cleverly out in front. Fraser comes to help him. It's a match in 2 between those two to try to get it out. Graham gets out of trouble beautifully, puts out a long pass. That's well done. Connolly's got it. Centre-half forward. Moles thought about a lead. Connolly could almost make the distance. They've kicked 1 goal from out there. He's about 45-50 metres out, but with the aid of the breeze, he could just conceivably do it. Stephen Connolly not going to make it with that one. Moulds out in front, Doofy behind, goes for the big thump away. Carey back cleverly, McFarlane, and he's got time to settle and find Simon's half-back flank. Simons in turn goes in short, or is going to make Stringer work hard for it. He's got it centre wing. The Bays into attack now to half-forward line. Out comes Copping. Has to play hard for it, or the handball aways the shocker. It was meant for Marshall, found Krieg. Seabohm committed. In comes Salisbury. Gives it back to Seabohm, and the Bays out of trouble.
Well, they certainly lifted, but it's still under a lot of pressure. Holst takes it off Van Dommel. Might get a free kick for a push. David Holst, a powerful man. One of the strongest players in the league. He's been dogged with injury this year. Kicks the ball a long way. Out comes Hall, gets up very high, but they clear through Hearn. Carey playing loose in defence and playing it well. Now Seabohm shoots it out wide. Gee, a bit of looseness now. McFarlane will go long. Hall and Kernahan get back there. Up goes Stringer from the front. Play on calls the umpire. It comes out to Nosworthy. He runs out through half-back. The Dogs will clear to the outer side of the ground, or should I say the grandstand side. A good mark by Connolly. He takes off. It's a big setup here for the Dogs. The score if they're good enough. It goes back from Fraser. Vivian. He sets it up. Coming back, but not far enough. It's a point. First point for today. 5-1 the Dogs. Glenelg 2 goals.
The Bays in trouble up forward. They've got about 4 players flying for the ball all the time. Hall, Kernahan, Stringer flew for that last one, and when the ball came down to the ground, it was all bounding Dogs there to take it away. McDermott takes the kick in. Furthers the ball along the outer side. Simon's having a good one against Bubner over there, but on this occasion, it's Bubner that comes out with the footy. Gives a chance now for Connolly if he can pick it up. No, it's Cousins down there. Now Rowe around the corner, not well directed, and in the fence it's taken by McDermott. Not happy with what Platten is doing to him. Nothing much to it at all. Chris McDermott. Gee, hasn't he found form at the right time? Having said that, it was a shocking kick, and Cousins gets the mark. Cousins from just the attack side of centre wing. Oh, gee, 15 metres. Don't know what that was for. The attack was there on the ball, but umpire Kinnear took exception to Carey's tackle and has awarded 15 metres to Cousins. He still can't score from there. Moulds on the lead. Gibbs back. McFarlane. Doothy, well done. The Bays repelled up towards centre field. Big leap Marshall. Kernahan and Hannum. All 5-on-1 there. Out went Kernahan, a high tackle. Working hard for the ball. I think it was Pryor who got the kick. Bubner it was, but only back as far as Kidney. Kidney's kick is not a good one. Hannum decided to thump it clear. Not good football. Motlem has got pace. Gives out the pass in towards the half-forward line. Hall's got it. Good mark. Good pass. And it wasn't good football then by the Dog defence. Tony Hall, 35 metres out. First kick coming up. Not a lot of discipline in the Bay forward line at the moment. Kicking into the breeze. Very talented player is Tony Hall. Nice looking kick starting to fade away, but he just nudged it through. The Bays 3 goals without a miss. Trail the Dogs 5-1.
Well, they're fighting back, and a big mistake made then by Brett Hannum. I thought he would have taken possession. He went for the smash, and it was Motlop who did the good work, gathered the ball in and put a short one into Tony Hall, who converted. And gee, they were in diabolical strife early. They fought back well. They trailed by 13 points, and we're 20 minutes into this first quarter.
Carey and Cousins having a stupendous battle. Good bounce again by the umpire. Carey got up high. Kidney took a high tackle. The umpire seen it as he spat out of the pack. And it's Robin Kidney, the 17-year-old rover, to put the Bays into attack. Tony McGuinness, as you saw a little while ago, didn't come up. He's injured, and Russell couldn't take his place either. Holst. Howard under pressure. Gave it across well to Copping. In the pocket is Kernahan. Good pass, Stephen Copping. And he's got it 30 metres out. Gee, the Bays have steadied now. Starting to look the goods. But gee, they would have been stunned by the ferociousness of the Bulldog start. Stephen Kernahan. Only about 30 metres out. Second kick coming up. Normally a pretty accurate shot for goal. Just fades across the front of the sticks, 1.0.
3-1 Glenelg. The Dogs 5-1, 2 goals in it. It's a top game of football, very open, very fast. Jamie Thomas will kick off for the Bulldogs. Very interesting opening to the game when Farquhar took his place up in the Glenelg side. Russell pulling out. Thomas kicking off. Cousins and Carey. Big Super Carey uses the body. Well, umpire Hilton said he used it too much. I think they ought to change the name of this game. It's not football anymore. Can't use the body at all, it would appear. Away goes Marshall. Kick away not good. Comes off hands. Simons didn't have the ball, and he was tackled. It's a bad tackle from the Bulldog defence. Here's a chance for Copping. Up goes McGrath. Kidney, Motlop. Gee, they're a bit lively around the forward lines now, the Bays. Here's a chance for Alan Stringer, and he takes the mark in the forward pocket. Kernahan asked for it. The ball, that is. Stringer, in fact, will go to Holst. Very loose work indeed by the Dogs. Very, very loose. From that angle, it was pretty obvious he was going to pass off or try to somebody. Holst has got it. This will be his 6th kick. Distance won't bother him at all. That's another goal. He's got 2 goals now, Holst. So the Bays are back in it. 4-1, trailing the Dogs 5-1.
Peter, I'm just trying to see where David Holst is playing. I thought he started at centre, but at the moment it's David Marshall back in there with Krieg, and Holst will start out of the centre square, so he might be on the ball, or maybe the Bays are just ringing changes between half forward and centre. We'll ask Robert Odie down on the ground to keep an eye out on that. 5-1 the Dogs, 4-1 Glenelg.
I think he's changing on the ball with McDermott in, and doing a pretty good job. They're finding it hard to control him.
Is he ever?
Cousins got it down. Platten runs out of centre. The kick away not good. Graham, very clever player, didn't have it, and he gets the free kick. Graham will go short. The lead is on. Moulds nowhere near it. Seabohm playing in front of Bubner. Gibbs wants it, and he gets it. And the Bay disposal has certainly improved a great deal. There's 15 metres. That one will go against Fraser. Bowles is at full forward for the Dogs. Gibbs kicks long out of defence. Copping comes over the top. No mark. Motlop kicks it through. A chance for Vivian now. Motlop fighting hard for the ball. Gogahern couldn't do a thing with it. Copping gets out. Couldn't get the handball clear. Pushing through Talbot. Alan Stringer dropped the ball. The umpire saw it. Platten's in there doing a little bit of bustling, and the umpire's going to play it on.
I get the impression, Peter, that there could be a bit of a brawl before long. Both teams very tense. Krieg gives a chance now. Norsworthy Moulds on the lead. Connolly getting back. Good mark. Good pass. And Connolly's got a chance from 35 metres out. Connolly did a spell in the reserves. Lost a bit of form after showing a lot of promise early in the season. Moulds not really giving a dinkum lead. He's just moving out to centre half forward. There could be a change there. Keep an eye on that one. He's had 4 kicks and 4 handballs in this quarter for Connolly, playing well. Shot at goal is going to be offline for another point. The Dogs 5-2, Glenelg 4-1. Robert Odie.
Yeah, Holston and McDermott are changing on the half-forward flank. David Marshall started in the centre on Peter Krieg, Ian. They seem to be playing fairly conventionally at the moment.
Duthie kicks off for the Tigers. Thank you, Robert. Kernahan on the ball. Big mark. Well, that's Kernahan at his best. Conditions should suit him. He's a real champion. Kicks to the outer side of the ground. Tony Hall tries to get front spot against Bubner. Taken off hands by Simons. Shoots it out there to Holst. Holst gets around Platten as though he wasn't there. That's not easy to do. Kindy's got the chance. Hand up to Kindy. A ton of carriage. Over the top. Holst. Not Holst copying. Play on calls the umpire. It was kicked through for a point. Copying one of the free kick. Still arguing with the umpire, but it's a point. The Tigers 4-2. The Dogs 5-2.
Recollet, the team manager of Glenelg, looking a little happier now than he was 20 minutes ago. Will make that 16. Brett Hannum to kick in. Kidney had the choice of two then, Copping or Carey. Chose Copping, and it's history now that he was caught. Hannum, undecided where to go, goes to the outer side. Marshall takes the easy mark over Krieg. At the run, Krieg didn't judge it too well, although he had to stand his ground. The Bay hierarchy, Coach Campbell and Chairman of Selectors Des State. Carey gets it behind the pack. Big mark! Oh, what a super mark! Gee, the big fellow's playing well. It was thought that once the Czech side went out of knock rucking, that Peter Carey might have been in a bit of trouble. But the big fellow's leaping higher than ever, and he's in his veteran stage. Carey chips away at goal. Oh, it's going to hit the woodwork. Not one of his better kicks. 4-3 Glenelg, 5-2 Central.
Well, they've had a few big chances in the last few minutes. They can't convert. Jamie Thomas will kick out to grandstand side. Moulds on the ball now. Kernahan. All played it on. Wasn't really necessary. Stringer caught. Out comes Hearn. He goes short to Vivian. Went over the top of Vivian, in fact, but he's going to run through half forward now. Off he goes. He'll bounce it right through. He's lost it. In comes Seabohm. Wayne Stringer off the ground, but not very far. Talbot got poleaxed. Didn't hurt at all, though. Out he goes to Seabohm. Shoots it way up forward. McDermott getting under the ball. Alan Stringer tried to read it off hands. Didn't work for him. Rowe fighting hard, also Hall. McDermott got the kick away under pressure. In comes McGrath. Out goes McGrath. Actually, McGrath and Stringer, I think, have got a score to settle. Someone tells me. Bit of an altercation when they last played, apparently.
Both played very hard, Peter. 27.5 minutes gone. A top opening quarter in the qualifying final. Carey trying to hook it back. Can't get it clear. McGrath getting back on the ball, and he's lined up. And he's going to get a free kick. No, the ball is out of play. Throw in full forward left pocket. Carey and Bubner, who got up high. Only got it down as far as Hall. Did it well. Sidestep beautifully, but set it up perfectly, but missed from point-blank range. The Bay's 4th point. In the last 15 minutes, it's been all Glenelg.
It's been all Glenelg, but they've got Panther problem at the moment. They can't find the big ones. They've had 8 scoring shots to the Dogs 7. They trail at this stage by 4 points. Jamie Thomas to kick off. Hannum is leading wide. Simons is out there. 2 players there bumped each other and fell over. Now Brett Hannum has got the run of it. He'll use the left boot. Go short to Norsworthy. That was a good pass. Norsworthy's virtually on centre wing. He'll go as long as he can. Puts it out in front of Connolly, but won't get there. The umpire will throw it in left half forward flank for the Dogs. There's been 9 goals kicked in this quarter. There'll probably be 4.5, 5 minutes of time on. We're coming up to 4 minutes of time on now as Duthie jostles for position, and he'll get a free kick, and that will go against Moulds. Moulds has got that left forearm heavily bandaged. Chris Duthie playing at fullback, which he's done pretty well, although his co-fullback in Farquhar is back on the side now. Duthie clears out. Kernahan punching away. He couldn't get front spot. Motlop ducked. Not the right thing to do in this game. There's a cartwheel. Salisbury it was. Kernahan got rid of it quickly. Simon's back to Kernahan. The big chap gets a kick away, but it's not too good.
Looks like it could have been out of play on the field. Simons looks a little damaged. Van Dommel kicks back towards the half-forward line. Graham's there, thumped away by Stringer. Quickly in now was Vivian, couldn't get it out. Krieg goes down. McDermott back in defence. Long handball conceding ground to Kernahan. That's a wobbly kick. Stringer read it well, tried to half volley it, got the handball away, put Marshall under pressure. Quickly in now is a chance for McGrath to get it clear. Platten centre field, sends the Dogs into attack, out charges Cousins, but Seabohm beats him there, and he's had a magic first quarter.
Gee, came out of the blocks very quickly then. This will be his 8th kick, Seabohm. He's a top defender. Goes long towards Kernahan. Could mark the ball off hands, Trevor Rowe. Short with the left boot. Nosworthy's out there. You'll have to get past Salisbury, which he does pretty easily. Puts it in towards centre half forward. Gibb punched away. Oh, lucky. Very lucky, the Tigers. The siren has gone. A good first quarter. The Dogs leading 5-2 to the Tigers 4-4. After a big first quarter, the Tigers trailed by 4 points. The Bulldogs really jumped out of the blocks and took them by surprise. Line ball in the centre, comes out to Kidney. Copped a high one. No, it wasn't high. The umpire was on the spot, holding the ball. Kidney's a bit nonplussed. Back goes Cousins. He's a good player, Cousins. Shoots it out wide towards Van Dommel. Talbot in with pace. Applied the bump. Gets front spot. Shovels it out to Holst. Holst runs the wrong way by 20 metres and then just about brings rain with a big high floater. Up goes Super Carey. Good mark. Oh, he's playing well. Out it goes from Marshall to McDermott. Up towards Kernahan. Got a bad bounce. Comes back on it though, and it gets thumped out of bounds by Brett Hannum.
Yes, the Bays recovered brilliantly in the second half of that first quarter. Central's jumped out 5 goals without a miss. Gee, the Bays were gasping. Kernahan and Cousins. Kernahan's tap only finds Hannum. Hannum has running for him Rowe through the half-back line. Bubner. Gee, they're starting to move the ball well now. Krieg to the half-forward line, getting back on it, Seabohm. And gee, he's been a great player already, and he'll get 15 metres. Fraser's tackle came from behind. Kick number 9, John Seabohm. Go to Carey. He's got it. He's having a big game too. Gee, got past Cousins. Thought he's in trouble there for a while. Puts it up for Kernahan. Kernahan, big mark. Too tall for Hannum. Starting to come into the game now, and Kernahan's only about 45 metres out. With the aid of the breeze, he could make the distance. Not confident, or the pass is a shocker, and Hearn reads it well. It was meant for Marshall, but Hearn takes the mark inside the half-back line.
Thought he might have tried for that one. He was probably 45 to 50 as Ende called, and well, bit of a breeze with him. Alan Stringer comes out well, then runs into trouble. Cops a high one. He'll get a free kick. Copped another one. He might get 15 metres now. Silly movement then by Hannum. So Alan Stringer, closer to the scoring area now, would be only 30-35 metres out, and a big chance to put the Tigers in front. Only his second kick coming up. One of the hardest, toughest players playing league football at the moment, Alan Stringer. Sets it up, nice looking kick off the boot. It's swaying over towards the left-hand post, but it's through. Alan Stringer got his first. Tigers are in front, 5-4 to the Dogs, 5-2.
Yes, he's a tough customer, all right. He'd lap that sort of thing up. He took a heavy knock, and then Hannum did something that was rather silly. He's made a couple of mistakes, Hannum, and consequently, a 15-metre penalty brought Stringer to within range. It was doubtful whether he could have made the distance where he got the first free. However, the Bays in front for the first time for the game, 5-4 to 5-2. Carey
and Cousins in the centre of the ground. Carey got it down, swung it towards Kidney. Kidney caught one, and he'll get a free kick. Plenty of free kicks today, as there were yesterday. 19 up till now, in fact. Kidney goes forward. Big leap from Hall. Oh, he's been paid. He came way over the top of the pack. I'm not sure that he was the first player to touch it, though. Still, the umpires seem to apply some sort of licence to that these days. Hall way over the pack then, and a good mark. Missed his last shot, which was pretty simple. It's a good looking kick. That's dead centre. Hall's now got 2. Tigers kick away, 6-4 to the Dogs, 5-2.
He's a desperado, all right. Gee, had the leap from behind, and it was a fine mark, irrespective of who grabbed it. The umpire paid it, and that's pretty important. Tony Hall, I mentioned in the first quarter the couple of times that he leapt and indiscriminately and spoiled his own player, and there was no one down waiting for the crumbs. But that was kick number 3, and he's booted 2 goals for that. So it's a fine start to Glenelg's Tony Hall. 6-4, they lead Central 5-2.
Bit of daylight now for the Tigers. Stung early. Carey goes up, down to Rowe. Platten in trouble. Tackle was applied, holding the man, holding the ball to him, the umpire called. So umpire Kinnear will bounce it. Tack side of centre for the Dogs. Carey again, geez, getting hand of ball pretty easily in there. Platten in trouble. The umpire let it go. David Bubner only put it in front of Carey. The big chap shoots it out to Kernahan. That was a great pass.
Oh, Peter, he's killing them.
Is he ever? Probably best man on the ground at the moment. Carey. Bit of a shove in the pack there, but a good mark taken in defence by David Bubner.
Bubner in defence. Looks like the Dogs have made a couple of moves. Cousins never got started, but he's going to get the free kick and or the mark. He had them both. Cousins, as in short, free, and he's got it on the defensive corner of the square. The Dogs have lost their run all of a sudden, although Bubner makes the metre to get past his opponent. Drives long to the half-forward line. Bubner up. Platten in for the crumbs now. Here's a go. Gee, he's lost his touch all of a sudden. Motlop, who's added a bit of dash, gets it back as far as Seabone. Tony Simons, the next to get it will be McFarlane. He's got it centre wing. Immediately plays on. Kidney, Stringer. The Bay's going to attack with method. Out went young Kidney. Stringer puts it up for Kernahan again. 2-2. He's got it again. Oh, is he ever coming into the game? Another big favourite for the Magarey medal tomorrow night at 8:30 on 7, and Stephen Kernahan won't pass this one off. 30 metres out. His 6th mark. Has booted 1 goal, and he hasn't added to that tally. 1-1. Not happy with the kick. Not one of his better ones. 6-5 to 5-2.
Well, the Tigers have come alive. Jamie Thomas kicks out. Looks for Cousins. Cousins puts the long handball out. G puts Vivian under a lot of pressure. With the speedster, the veteran puts it back to Cousins. Cousins in turn looks for and finds Connolly. The handball goes over the top. Krieg now. He's a stay-at-home centreman. Through goes Pryor. He kicked the goal in the first quarter, Pryor. Bubner now showing plenty of pace. Gee, they nearly fixed him up for good. Salisbury might get a free kick for a shove. He was at the bottom of the pack. Holst is leading. Salisbury saw it. Holst will double back now. So will Simons. Showing a lot of pace. He didn't have it with that tackle. Couldn't blame Pryor. He was a little bit worried that Simons might run away with that ball, and there's no one on the mark now. 10 kicks, Tony Simons. Top performance. Big chance for Tony Hall. Up. Couldn't grab it. Players stack up from everywhere, and the umpire will bounce it.
6-5 to 5-2. Just over 7 minutes gone of the second quarter. The Bay starting to control the game now. Carey, McDermott comes out of the pack. Can't get clear, and the umpire said he's holding the ball, and the free kick in defence will go to... Neil doesn't look very happy. Looks like is it Thomas. Rowe does well, shows a lot of pace as he comes off the half-back line. Good lead and good pass to Connolly. Connolly had a magic first quarter as he breaks clear now, drives it long. Platten out in the open. Salisbury gave him a metre, that's all it needed. Platten too far out to catch him. The kickers are weighing out of the half-forward line. Fine mark, Jamie Thomas, and he's got it on the half-back flank.
The Dogs by 3 points. Jamie Thomas playing well. She'll come across towards the centre and find the big chap there in Cousins. McDermott's in contest with him there, and Cousins shoots it out towards Graham in front, drop the head. David Butler's caught Cole. Back towards Graham, tries to get out of trouble, still in there fighting. There's Alan Stringer. Well done to John McFarlane. He goes short, finds Hall. That was a good kick. Hall is at right half-forward flank. The lead is on from Kidney. Great smash away there, McGrath, and it's out of bounds.
Gee, Peter, Alan Stringer does some hard work in the packs.
Does he ever, Ian? He's a real terrier. Man, looked like he had a headache. Carey, Cousins did it well. Jamie Thomas booted away, wobbly old kick, close to the line, and Tony Simons sees it go over. Been a big player in this game, Simons. One of the state's top wingmen. Kernahan to do battle in this instance with Cousins. Up over the top goes Van Dommel, off hands it comes towards Marshall. Motlop got through. He'll shoot it out long to Marshall now. There's a player short. Kidney's got it. He'll go for goal this time. Sets it up, but he's way offline. He's going to get another one. Pushing the back against McGrath. And Robin Kidney will take another pop shot from the forward pocket.
Gee, Peter, when he got that ball, he didn't attempt to straighten up. In fact, he made his angle more acute by running into the pocket and tried to hook it around. But fortuitously, he's going to get another shot.
Robin Kidney realised that he's got the big job today to try and curtail Platten. Pretty hard to do, I must say. Kidney's going to have his 5th kick. It'll be interesting to see if he can do a little bit better than the last one. Yes, he goes out to the right again, swings it back. That was good medicine for him. That's his first goal. The Tigers back in front, 7-5 to 7-2.
Yes, it's nip and tuck now after that brilliant start by Centrals, and the Bays fight back. It's goal for goal. Glenelg in front by 3 points. Neil Barn, the Norwood coach, having a look to see who he's going to play next week. I don't think he'd have much of a choice between Centrals and Glenelg. They've all got to be beaten at some stage or the other.
Kernahan and Bubner in ruck now. Kernahan gets there, down to Motlop. Couldn't take it away. Van Dommel fighting, and Platt holding the ball. Good tackle by Tony Simons then. He uses the left boot. Tony Hall or Kernahan. One hand, Kernahan. Appears to be hurt. Hasn't got up yet. The handball comes out. Hall. Marshall. Onto the left boot. Swings it around. Great kick, Marshall. His first goal. Glenelg 8-5. The Dogs 7-2.
Oh, what a brilliant goal, David Marshall, but Stephen Kernahan took a heavy knock there. He looked in pain on the ground, and it appeared to get him around about the left thigh. But he's just a little gimpy at the moment, and one player the Bays wouldn't like to lose. But the Bays edge clear. Marshall's first goal, they lead 8-5 to 7-2, and it's still a fast and furious game out there.
It certainly is. There's no defensive accent whatsoever. It's attack, attack, attack all day. Kernahan got it out, then backs up, shoots out the handball. Platten's fighting hard, as is Motlop. Umpire calls play on. Holster's caught. The umpire will bounce it again. The crowd wanted holding the ball. Holst said, "You've got to be joking. How can I get rid of that?" Down it goes. 17 there is Peter Krieg. Kernahan goes back. On the rebound, it's Krieg who smashes it forward. Fraser. On the lead is Miles. It's a good kick. Miles kicks front spot. He's got it inside the boundary, slipped over, in trouble, got the handball out. McFarlane also in a spot of bother. Duthie, now it's out.
Throw in half forward left flank. The Bays by 9 points. Ideal conditions for football. At last a bit of warmth on the players' backs. Moulds in opposition, in actual fact, to Duthie here. Duthie in front, Moulds over the top, back towards the line. Marshall close to it, or was it Gibbs? They look alike. It was Gibbs, but he was out of play when he got the ball. A throw in a similar spot, half forward line. 8-5 to 7-2. Kernahan coming in to assist Duthie now. It'll be 2-on-1. Kernahan behind in the scissors movement. Goes for the grab. Found Stringer. Stringer's under pressure, but got it to Holt well. Post off the half-back line, heaves the ball up towards the half-forward line. Tony Hall, Marshall, crab-wise, he moves out, gets on that left leg. Hall down, hurt. He's up now, however. Goes to the half-forward line. Kidney takes the crumbs. Carey wants it in short. Kidney's going to give it to the big fellow. Intercepted, brilliantly done, Adam. And he's got it about 25 metres out, and that was a brilliant steal.
Was it ever? He read that very well. He's going to have to come back and kick over the mark, according to umpire Hilton. And the Bulldog defender's not too happy about that. Van Dommel runs in with a good lead. Blood appears to be coming from a gash near the left eye of Brett Hannum. Great interception, Marshall. Hannum went through like a man possessed. He's a tough player. Out he comes again. Oh, what courage and what power he's got. Uses the left boot, Platten. I'm not sure whether he meant that. Of course, he had finals experience with the Cowboy over in Canberra, so he knows all about it. It's a good kick out at defence and a great lead out there from Connolly. Out in front of Kernahan on that occasion. He has to play on now. That's a shocking kick. Goes straight to Talbot. 2 grabs and a good mark.
He's got it at centre half back. Holster's centre field, but he's going out wide for McDermott. Kernahan out there as well. The big fella's going to have to work hard. He beats Connolly. Out wide now is Marshall playing a fine quarter. Marshall wants to play on. He's got Carey in the square. Going for home with a long one. Carey used his bulk well at the back of the pack. Popping! Walking goal. Carey used his body brilliantly to block it. Copping's first goal. The Bays kick clear, 9-5 to 7-2.
Kernahan looks to be still favouring that thigh that he got whacked a little while ago. Appeared to be a bit tentative on the outside there, but gee, he recovered well. Got the kick out, and then it came in long. Stephen Copping knew all about it. He knew exactly where to be. He was spot on when it came over the top, and it was a walk-in goal. So Glenelg clear away again. They're 9-5. The Dogs are 7-2.
The Dogs have got Bubner in ruck. Fraser at centre half forward, but they're going backwards at the moment. Kernahan against Bubner, who stood his ground, got the tap away, but directed it towards McDermott. He in turn gave Gibbs a chance, wobbles one to the half-forward line. Out comes Copping again, swooping on it quickly is McGrath, but he's conceding ground. Hall, Motlop wants it if he can get it out to him. Free kick, Hall. Free kick to Tony Hall, umpire Kinnear, indicating that it's on a tight angle. Woof. I don't know whether you can read lips, but whatever McGrath said, it certainly wasn't complimentary. A graphic picture of what he said in the middle of your 7th screen. And there's Tony Hall's shot at the woodwork. Hasn't got much to play with. The breeze will help because it's coming in from his left to right. Tony Hall would be 25 metres out. Kick number 5. Kick looks to be accurate. I think he's threaded it through. What a goal. His third. Fine game for the Bays. 10-5. The Dogs are 7-2.
Tony Hall proving a real bonus. A real bonus up there in that forward area. He's a live wire man. He's had 5 kicks and he's kicked 3-1. So it's all working for him. He played the ball in front of him, and the umpires are playing that free kick these days. Where the man in front dies on top of the ball and he gets it.
At the centre bounce. Kernahan and Cousins back on the ball now. Searching for it, Krieg. Marshall likewise rebounds at the centre. 10-5 to 7-2. Incredible when you think that the Bays were down 5 goals to nothing. What a reversal in 19 minutes into the second quarter. Cousins can't find Platten around the corner. The kick went away, however, from Rowe. Philip Graham's there trying to burrow his way up. Was Rowe again. Van Dommel got it over now. Graham wants help. He can't find a running player. Connolly caught. Back to Graham in the 1-2. He's under pressure as well. The Bays tackling brilliantly. But the umpire said it was a push in the back. Graham Campbell would be a lot happier now with the way they're going, although you don't exactly see him cheering that decision. Philip Graham, half-forward line. Too far for Fraser. Coming to meet it now is Moles, but Duthie's got too much pace. Gets the kick away. The bounce will decide. Vivian out there. And Duthie, not Duthie, it is Talbot. He's legged. And the free kick will go the way of the Dog wingman. 7-2 the Dogs, 10-5 the Tigers. A quick kick away to Nosworthy. Talbot comes in to stand the mark. Well, what a game it's been. Fast and furious right from the opening bounce. The 8th kick coming up to the Bulldog Rover.
He goes short. There's a lead on there from Bubner. Oh, that came unstuck. Salisbury showed a lot of courage in intercepting. Out it comes now. Might have been a high tackle, that one. It'll be a free upfield. Babe over there getting to his feet, Kidney. And Alan Stringer it is who kicks out towards Talbot. It was a good pass too. Talbot's got it at centre wing. The lead's on from Tony Hall. That's where it's going. You need to mark it because the Bulldogs will smother now. Van Dommel, Northworthy, Platten on a lead. Salisbury right with him. Plays it close to the line. The umpire will now throw it in. Salisbury has been a real improver in league football. Came under a lot of pressure earlier for his, or for the way he played the game, I guess. But his body at the ball. Van Dommel caught. Kidneys was a good tackle. Vivian's in trouble. Great tackle then by Talbot. The umpire will have to bounce.
The Bays are putting pressure on Peter, that's for sure. 10-5 to 7-2. Over 20 minutes gone, second quarter. Big crowd, probably 24,000 people here now. Holst sidesteps well, gets onto the left leg, drives a long one to the half-forward line, popping behind the pack. Cousins in front. Hearn off the half-back line. The kick is high, going back towards centre wing. McDermott in late. Van Dommel took exception. Norsworthy stands and looks. Unusual for Mark. He likes a bit of a dust-up.
Well, if umpire Kinnear was running in then, I would say McDermott copped 3 to the chin. I don't know what he was looking at.
Norsworthy got the 15 metres. That brings him to the attack side of centre wing. Vivian, half-forward line. Running player going through his row. Doesn't want him. Bubner gives the lead. He's going towards that player at the half-forward line. Kernahan back in defence. Bubner can't get it. Kernahan can. Gives away the handball. Spot on to McFarlane. And his kick's a shocker off the side of his boot. Simons is going to have to work hard. He's got David Bubner there with him. Well shepherded McFarlane. Simons, short. Finds Stringer. Bit of a dust-up behind play. Stringer plays on now to the lead of Alan Stringer. Looking for his brother. Stringer touched it first. Pryor finished up with the ball, and I think the umpire's going to pay the mark.
He's got to pay the mark.
Going to throw it in.
Well, it's a hard one to follow. I think the umpire might be saying that the ball was touched off the boot. That's all I can
Peter, I thought Stringer
say.
got his hand to the ball first, and then Pryor finished up with it.
Right, well, that could be another way of interpreting it. Carey got it down. Holst was tackled well. Kidney hasn't got up yet. I tell you what, they're getting a bit fast and furious out there at the moment. Holst is down. He gets a pat on the head from Simons. I can't imagine David Holst being down for too long. Kidney's got a bad eye by the look of it. Got a bit of a whack. Down goes Van Dommel. And things are getting a little bit tight out there. David Holst on all fours at the moment. He's a sick boy. In fact, he's coming off. Looks to be concussed, David Holst. Kernahan got up to Motlop. Here's a big chance for Carey. He'll go short. Tony Hall's at centre-half forward. There's a Bulldog player down who hasn't moved. Tony Hall's got the ball, can't do a thing with it. There was an evener upper there, I can tell you. It's in the left forward pocket. The umpire will throw it in. He hasn't moved.
Peter, I don't know who it is that marked Norsworthy down. And his eye, yes, he's starting to move now. He's awake at least. Stretcher's gone out for him. And Holst is looking very seedy indeed. And, gee, it's a bad-tempered game now, that's for sure. Kidney's back on his feet. Gee, it's a battle of the walking wounded at the moment. Off goes Norsworthy on a stretcher. The umpire might hold up play. Yes, he will. And, no, the umpire will take it back as Mark Norsworthy is stretchered from the arena. Well, who have we got on the bench for them? That will be Stephen Bone. Or who's the other player? It is Stephen Nolan. Now, Nolan's going to come on. The umpire said we can start play again. Some anxious faces in the dog camp. Gee, players going down like flies.
Great mark out there by Talbot. Well, it had to happen. Players were getting hit pretty high all day long, and they can't go on for too long. McDermott in front. Through goes Kidney. Carey's got it. Something's bound to happen now. Out it goes to McDermott. He shapes up, but the kick is well astray. Tony Simons in there. No, he didn't control it. The umpire will have to throw it in. Yes, you've got to control that ball before it crosses the line. He didn't do it. Carey uses the body well. The big fella did it brilliantly. Couldn't get boot to ball. Hearn goes down, and that's a push in the back. Oh, they're in it again. Kidney's down there. He caught one in
their books and taking names, and they'll all get a visit to the league on Monday or Tuesday night. Now, Hannum is being spoken to. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I don't know whether he's been reported or not, but I tell you what, there were some heavy fists in there.
The finger went out towards Hannum there, but
well, he's going to get the free kick, Peter. So if he's going to get a free kick, Peter Carey was spoken to, and it's unlike Super to lose his cool like that. But Hannum comes out with a kick, so maybe he's not been reported.
Well, let's hope not. Up they go. Marshall couldn't take the mark. Tell you what, it's not all over yet either. You can bet on that. Out comes Marshall. Gets rid of it quickly. Through goes McFarlane. Flattens in pretty hard. The tackle's applied, and umpire Hilton will bounce it. Gee, I tell you what, Alan Stringer skirted around the back of the pack, and he was out of the area. He didn't want to know about it.
In a flash, Peter, and Hannum was after him.
Up goes Kernahan. He caught one high, and he gets it. Well, Simons is on a lead. Kernahan didn't quite see him. Holster's going down to the rooms for a powder, and Kernahan shoots it up forward towards Carey. The big chap couldn't mark it. The whistle's gone. The man in front's got it. That's McGrath. He'd have good memories of the last game. I don't think he thinks too much of Alan Stringer. He puts it up towards Graham. The punch away didn't work. Kernahan skirting behind the pack. Shoots it around, but couldn't find anybody. It went straight to Pryor.
Pryor on the half-back line has Cousins moving for him, and the big fella pops one up short. It's not a good one. Motlott can't grab it. McFarlane can. Salisbury into the action. Goes for a bounce down grandstand side. Now kicks in long. Hall going to get a leap. Big one. Can't bring it down. Carey's got Simons. Super gets the kick away. What a super goal. Oh, no. It looked to be spot on, but it was just touched by Nolan, and he's run it through his own goal line. Robert Odie.
Nors with his days down below. He's just resting at the moment, Ian. Seems he may come back on after half-time. He's not feeling in the best of condition after that heavy knock.
That was a good word, Robert. Dazed. I'll tell you what, that's the most stunned mullet form of dazed I've seen in my life. He was in a lot of trouble. But if he's only dazed now, that's fortunate. Through goes Alan Stringer. Wanted a free kick, but it wasn't there. The umpire's going to bounce it. We're closing on 28 minutes. It's been a fiery old second quarter. Gee, there's no one on the bench there. The Tigers have got a clear bench. Carey shoots it back. The handball comes out from Campbell. Wasn't a good one. Krieg picked it up and gave it across to Thomas. He shoots it out long. Here's a chance of the Bulldogs now if they get it over the top. Fraser can do nothing with it. Graham threw it out. Then off hands it comes. Through goes Nolan. A big chance for the Dogs. Krieg puts it over. In comes Seaborn. Off hands to Bubner. Back it goes to Fraser. Here's a chance. He sets it up. Oh, he's missed.
Seaborn down.
Seaborn copped a high one on the run through. I don't think there was much in it. I think it was part of the play, but the Bulldogs needed one then, Ian.
I agree there, Peter, both ways, that there wasn't much in it, but there's a lot in it for the Bays because Seaborn is not well at all, and gee, they've already got a couple of injured players. Gibbs over the top, but Kernahan's going to get a free kick for a push out by Cousins. Stretcher for Seaborn, or is it? No, there's the hands go up. Stretcher's coming out now. Well, that's bad news for the Bays because Seaborn was in brilliant touch at the back there. Kidney couldn't get it. Roundhouse right. Stretcher's gone back, but gee, he's not in a healthy condition. Van Dommel, no, free kick. Umpire Hilton's going to bring it back, and do you think the umpires have got their hands full? There was a hit on Kidney behind the play. I didn't see it. Now the Stretcher's out to... Stretcher is out there to Seaborn. It's lying on the ground, and Seaborn gets onto it, and he's going to be stretched off the arena, so the umpire will wait once more whilst that player leaves the ground. 10-6 Glenelg, 7-3 Centrals. Seaborn stretch it off to the arena. Robert Odie.
I'm sure that stretcher was brought on here just to waste time to make sure that the game stopped and enabled the new player to get on the ground. John Seaborn with a leg injury. Not like the old days, they would have normally carried him off.
Play goes on. A long kick by McFarlane. Up towards Hall. Once again got his hands to it. Rowe in trouble. Marshall close to the line. And it's a throw in right forward pocket. Gee, what's happened this quarter? Seems to have taken a lifetime. 10-6 to 7-3. Graham Campbell aging on the spot.
Gone for the phone. You probably want to know what's wrong with Seabohm. Off it goes to Hall. Great work. Carey. Motlop left foot goal. Oh, that's the way to do it. First goal, Motlop. Glenelg 11-6. The Dogs 7-3.
What classic ruck work there from Peter Carey. That was the perfect tap back. And Carey's killing them in ruck. He's having a spell at full forward at the moment. But even up there, he's using his body well to create opportunities. He takes the ruck throw-ins in the pockets. And he's clearly Glenelg's best player at the moment. 11-6 Glenelg, 7-3 the Dogs, and there's one happy supporter. She got the right colours on.
Kernahan shoots it out wide with the backhand. David Bubner did it well. Back it goes towards Wayne Stringer. Good interception there. Nolan was on the mark. Seabohm appeared to cop a high one. It was unintentional, but then he was holding his right buttock area. Found it very hard to walk. I think that's why the stretcher came on as well. All mistake, Campbell. He has to shoot it out towards McFarlane. He goes for distance but doesn't get much. Marshall goes up in the middle of the pack. McDermott. There's Platten. He's in a bit of trouble, and umpire Kinnear will bounce.
Gee, Peter Platten started like a rocket. I think he got about the first 3 kicks of the match, but since then they've tightened on him.
He copped the first head-high tackle too, Ian.
He's had 9 kicks though.
Yes, he's quietly effective. Rowe there, but Alan Stringer swoops on the ball, puts it out to Motlop. He just found it, only just. He must have been centimetres in that. McGrath's having a go at the boundary umpire, but I've never seen him change their mind yet. Copping. Siren's gone. Copping might have a pop shot from there.
Gee, it's been a long quarter, Peter. 32 minutes.
Tell you what, Ian, I don't know
I
don't know that I've seen that much action for a long time.
Oh.
It's a bit like one of those Rocky movies. There goes Copping. The goal here would be handy, but he won't get it. It's punched through. The umpire is going to pay the point. And there it is at half-time in an action-packed game here at Football Park. The Tigers 11-7, the Dogs 7-3.
The Bays with big problems as we start the third quarter. David Holst is starry-eyed, and John Seabohm has got a bang in the bottom. Neither could take part in the game. Carey gets the thump away. 11-7 to 7-3, the Tigers lead. Carey hooks the ball into attack up towards Kernahan. Hannam getting back on the ball. Hannam out in front of Kernahan, gets a nice handball out. McGrath didn't get a good sit, but he recovers well to give Nolan a chance. Centre wing. The Dogs into attack immediately to the half-forward line. Stringer's got to stand his ground. Good mark, held high. And he's taken it about centre-half back.
He's a very good player, Wayne Stringer. Been a top player since transferring from North Adelaide. Also his brother. 11-7 Glenelg, the Dogs 7-3. Stringer will kick the Bays out of trouble to centre wing. In goes Farquhar. He replaced the injured Seabohm, but that was a big leap over the top and a good mark to Nolan. Gee, they're walking wounded out here at the moment. Bubner goes wide. He'll mark that easily. Big Super Carey goes across to stand the mark. Carey probably best man on ground in the first half. And this is Bubner's second kick, would you believe? Not a big day for the champion. He's had 3 handballs. Puts that one up high. Nice looking kick, but no accuracy. They want goals, not point. The Dogs are 7-4. The Tigers 11-7.
Yes, the Centrals have had a bit of drought since that first 8 minutes of the game when they kicked 5 goals. They're only 7-4 now, and we're 2 minutes into this second half. Farquhar got tackled. Connolly got it away, but he was legged in the interim. The umpire let him play on. Mould stops, shoots for goal, but the kick is an awkward one, and only a point results. Well, everybody stopped, but the umpire said you could play on. A point to Central, 7-7, Glenelg 11-7. Or was that 7-6 that'll be, I would think.
It was a shocking kick from Moulds. It just didn't work for him. His lucky boot made contact with the ball then. It comes out of the pack. Down goes McDermott, trying to get rid of it. Umpire Kinnear might have a bounce.
7-5 the score is. 7-5 Centrals, 11-7 Glenelg.
Well, it was a bit like a horror movie out there in the second quarter. The crowd loved it, so did I, but we're not supposed to like things like that in football, but it was pretty enjoyable from my spot, I must say.
Mark Norsworthy and David Holst didn't think too much of it, Peter.
No, I think they would have gone for the Panadol at half-time.
And John Seabohm, he got stretchered off.
Probably precautionary for John Seabohm. He copped one around the right buttock area, and Jet looked a bit sore. Umpire Kinnear's going to have another bounce.
He came back onto the ground after the half-time break, but gee, he could just barely hobble off when he went to the interchange bench.
Oh, big smash away then by Peter Bubner. Out of the blocks goes Fraser. He's in a bit of trouble though. There are Glenelg defenders everywhere. Van Dommel couldn't pick it up. Salisbury could though. Now Peter Bubner again. Gee, he slipped over. Graham kicks it around the corner, but straight to Stringer. He'll take off. Carey will supply the... no, he thought about it. Stringer had to get rid of it. Now Alan Stringer. Onto the left boot. Puts it up towards Stephen Copping. Hearn gets up high. Couldn't mark the ball. Oh, great kick off the ground then by Marshall. Kernahan turns around, sets it up, but misses. Oh, Tony Hall wanted it. There were two Glenelg players there. 11-8 Glenelg, the Dogs 7-5.
Peter Luck's a fortune, but Stephen Kernahan wouldn't normally miss that. Good pass, finds Hannam at centre-half back. We believe the umpire spoke to a couple of players after a little fracas in that second quarter. Do you think it was on for a while? Hannam's kicked back towards centre wing. Platten behind. Good mark. The bounding Dogs got it at centre wing. Kick number 10 coming up. Gets a lead from Connolly on the half-forward line. Rowe there as well. Connolly behind. Rowe gets the run of the ball now. Half-forward line about 40 metres out. Good on the left leg. Oh, the kick's a shocker. Going to give Salisbury a gift. Simons makes the break down the outer side, but they're going to run it first to Gibbs. Simons still won it. Campbell's there with him. Nolan and Campbell. Simons got the pace, but he left the footy behind. David Bubner into the scene. Simons over the top. Campbell in. Nolan there with him, and the umpire will come and bounce the ball on the half-forward right flank for the Bays.
It's been a top game. The big crowd have really enjoyed it. Up goes Simons, in fact. Can't run the ball out. Kernahan couldn't pick it up. Hannam came through very hard. Now Nolan. He got tackled. On the man, the umpire's to. Motlop gives it back to him. Nolan. 7-5 the Dogs, 11-8 the Tigers. Nolan shoots it out long. Bubner and Farquhar. Farquhar belts away. It's out. The umpire will throw it in. Big Peter Carey and Brett Hannam was spoken to very strongly by the umpires in the second quarter. Carey from behind, out towards Platten. Players stack up in there, and Farquhar got it out though to Carey. Oh, good smother then, but Carey got the kick away eventually. Trying to mark the ball on the outer side is McDermott. But it's Nolan who clears again, and a good relieving mark taken by Talbot. He'll play it on and go short to Kidney. It wasn't Talbot, it was Salisbury in fact. The Bulldogs are going to get out of it now. Van Dommel. That handball went out. Very bad tempered second quarter. You could pick it up early in the game that there was going to be a bit of a dust-up, and it happened. Bubner and Carey. Carey used his body. Graham in there trying to get the ball out. Players stack up. Kidney. Finally Van Dommel. Nolan got the handball away to Bubner. Look at the pace of that man go. Caught on the left leg. Stringer holds his ground again, taking a nice timely mark. And gee, he's done it on a few occasions this afternoon. That's 15 metres against Connolly, but he was going to run the ball to Gibbs. He still could do that. Stringer changes tack, however, comes out towards Talbot at centre wing, makes a metre and gets there. Still Gibbs provides the run. Still they don't want him. He worked 100 metres for nothing. Talbot to the half-forward line. Stringer's going to have to hand his ground. He's happy about that. Gee, what a tough character. Do you think he got out of the fight in a hurry in that second quarter? Alan Stringer now shoots a long one. Stephen Kernahan and Hannam quickly in as Marshall provides to Shepherd now for Kernahan. Hooks round the corner, copping out in front. Good mark. Hearn was just a little slow to read the flight of the ball. Copping did it the better of the two, and he's got it 30 metres out. Angle of about 45 degrees. The Bays kicking into what breeze there is. It's not a force, however. To the lake end. Copping's kick is not going to come back at all. In fact, it's gone the other way. Almost a mark there to Tony Hall. Motlop now got Carey short. Well done, young fellow. He in turn will go to the lead of Kidney. That's not well done, Super. Kidney in trouble. Quickly in now, Simons.
Campbell. Simons. Oh, do you think they're making hard work of this? Copping under pressure. Hearn there as well. In comes Motlop. He goes out, pushing the back. And the Bays didn't handle that very well at all. They conceded a good 70 metres of ground and were a little lucky to get out of it with a free in the end. Mark Motlop. Too far out to score. Copping keeps on leading. Motlop doesn't want him, and he'll go for Tony Hall in the square. Kernahan there as well. Kernahan and Hall. Big leap, however, by Cousins. At the back of the pack, it's Jamie Thomas, and he goes for the safety of the line.
Well, we saw the odd mistake in there, like about 20 of them. A happy supporter. Might be a bay man by the look of it. By the look of all those teeth, I mean. 7-5 the Dogs. Glenelg 11-9. A long kick out, but not very effective. Alan Stringer easily. Gee, there are plenty of leads on. That's Tony Hall he'll have. As easy as you like. And I can say this. The Tigers have murdered the Bulldogs since 8 minutes into the first quarter. They've kicked 11-2 since that time. Kick number 6 coming up for Tony Hall. He's kicked 3-1 with his first 5 kicks. He's got a bad conversion rate. That's a super kick, that one. Dead centre. Tony Hall's got 4 goals. Top performance. Glenelg at 12-9 now to the Dogs 7-5.
It's amazing how the game has swung around. That first 8 minutes that Peter was talking about, they had all the runners. Now they've got very few. Platten can't get into the game really as effectively as he normally would. They're not getting many kicks across centre. Simons and Marshall, and to a lesser extent the young fellow at centre wing there, Talbot, are killing the Dogs across centre, and the Bay's doing it well. 12-9 to 7-5.
Carey and Cousins. Carey, best big man on the ground. Cousins got it away. Motlop couldn't pick it up, but Connolly can. Shoots one out towards the leading Fraser. 2 grabs, good mark. That was pretty slick. Fraser's having a chat there to Ross Gibbs. He's feeling he's back also. Well, they've only kicked 2 goals since the 8-minute mark of the first quarter. They need them. 4th kick coming up to Fraser. He's kicked 1 point. He's normally a good goal shooter. No, couldn't do it. They are in big strife, the Dogs. Big strife indeed. Glenelg at 12-9, the Dogs are 7-6.
Yes, Peter, they need a lift. They need someone to do something sensational, and a goal there certainly would have helped. What are they down now by 33 points? They have problems, as you said. Chris Duthie gets a lead this side from Farquhar. He replaced the injured Seabohm. And Farquhar in turn got a game in the 20 when Dennis Russell came up with a virus this morning. Van Dommel looking for support. Gee, Fraser got it, but he was surprised. Motlop did his best to keep it in play, but it's out in the full forward left pocket on the outer side. Glenelg 12-9, Central 7-6, out to throw in. It'll be Bubner and Carey. Carey tapped it cleverly. McFarlane can't get through. Carey, Marshall, Carey again. Got it out wide. Beautifully run there to Campbell. He went down in a screaming heap. The umpire's going to give him a free kick for a high tackle, and he's got it half-back flank. No, he's not going to get it for a high tackle. It's going to be Scotty Salisbury. The Bays wind up with a ball. Motlop, who's added a bit of run to the Bay side. He's got it just short of centre wing on the outer side.
Kicks long. Looking for McDermott. Look for the free kick. It wasn't there. Cousins goes around. Looking for Platten. Stephen Bohm getting ready to come on. The crowd comes out. Tigers go in again. Good mark taken in defence there by Pryor. Campbell was the Glenelg player who kicked it forward. Wasn't a good kick though. Pryor shoots it back. Bubner. Oh, he couldn't take delivery. Farquhar can. Shoots out the long one. The Tigers have got a chance to build here. Alan Stringer leads into the open. Good pass. He copped a high one on the way through. But you'd need to get a bulldozer out to Alan Stringer to worry him. Nothing concerns him at all. The leading player is Hall. Up he goes. Oh, big leap. G. Nolan ducked the head. Through goes Marshall. They didn't tackle him. Shoots it back. That's a great kick right into the square. Copy. Oh, he was always going to mark that. He's got those long telescopic arms. They seem to be a foot longer than the opposition then. Stood his ground and just put up the long arms and took it. 7th kick now to Stephen Copping. Kicked a goal in the second quarter. That's his second. Well, 13-9 to 7-6. The Dogs really need something.
They've made an interchange. It looks like David Bubner coming off Stephen Bohm going on. But the Dogs need to do more than that. Stephen Connolly's about the one player who's running at the moment. They've got to get Krieg into the game. Platten's got to do more. Philip Graham and Bubner at centre half forward. The Bays are absolutely swamping them, as Peter said. Since that 8-minute mark of the first quarter, the Bays have kicked 13 goals to 2, and they look like they're going to win this fairly comfortably.
Back to the centre. Carey in opposition to Moulds. Carey backhands it. The whistle's gone. Oh, I know what that's all about.
Is he going to rebounce the ball or what?
Well, umpire Hilton's walking across towards centre wing. He wants the ball again. Looks like he might have recalled the mounts.
And he'd be one of the best bouncers in the league too, Peter.
Reminds me of the days of Peter Mead. Ian, back to the centre.
He never bounced it that well.
Hilton puts it up. Well, good knock away then by Nolan it was. Through goes the Super Pup. Gets it out to Graham. They need a spark. Graham shoots it up forward, but everything's lost at the moment. Gee, they kicked 5 goals without a miss early. Not so now. They're 7-7 to the Tigers 13-9.
It's not their day at the moment, that's for sure. They're going to have to lift enormously to win, but still plenty of footy left in this game. 13-9 to 7-7. Gibbs. Good kick to the outer side. Dropping a little short now. McDermott. Reading it well was Campbell, Marshall, Simons. The Bays off the half-back line. Simons all runs himself into a bit of pocket, but he gets out of it well, drives long. Hannam in front of Kernahan. Hannam gets it down. Lost the run of the ball, however, now. Kernahan wants a running pass. He finds it going down the outer side. It's Campbell. Campbell almost gets run down. Put it up. Tony Hall, FAD in any case. Doesn't make any difference. Hannam, who's made a couple of errors in defence, has given away an FAD. Hall thought about playing on quickly. He was in a situation where he may have marked the ball in any case, but he's going to get a free shot at the woodwork, and Hilton says he can go round. Whoever heard of an umpire telling a player can improve his angle? He'll have him back in front of the sticks in a moment. Tony Hall has improved his angle 5 metres, and he's got a chance of kicking his 5th goal. Pops it through, and the Bays go on their merry way. 14-9, play the Dogs 7-7.
Well, they're doing it as they like at the moment, and Brett Hannam had to run through and try to run down Campbell. Campbell's pretty quick. He got there just a fraction too late. Tony Hall got the free kick, and I must say that's the first time I've seen an umpire do it. Brought him right around the front, and he kicked his 5th goal, which was a good effort. 14-9 the Tigers, 7-7 the Dogs.
Carey against Bubner in ruck. Carey gets another thump away, but this time it went straight to Bohm, having his first touch. He in turn finds Nolan, beautifully smothered McDermott. Moulds couldn't get it. McDermott can out wide now as Simons got to sit on the foot. He hooked around the corner. Marshall goes after it. The Bays have got a chance here. Marshall is clear. Ball in the pocket. Marshall goes for home with a long one, getting back. Popping! But the umpire has seen a fall behind play. I don't know what's going on. A Central District player has had his number taken. It could be Jamie Thomas. He is flattened. I think it was David Marshall after he got rid of the footy. In any case, Copping was always going to mark the ball. Frustration keeping into the Dog game now. And it's Stephen Copping from 20 metres out, about a 45-degree angle. Copping has got 2. Hasn't improved it. 1 point only. 14-10 the Bays, 7-7 Central.
The Dogs are in big trouble. We've said it before, but they're not improving. They're going from bad to worse, if that's possible. They're playing from behind. They can't win it out of the middle. Carey's killing them. He's best ruckman on the ground by a street. And Platten can't get into the game. They take off now. Hearn goes out. So does Rowe. The man that just got reported kicked off, Jamie Thomas. Carey in the middle of the pack. Billy took the mark, but play on they call. Stephen Bowen, left boot. In comes Bubner and takes a mark. Gee, they can do with him in the game. Hasn't done much. Only 4 kicks. Here's a big chance, Fraser. It's a big long lead out of full forward. Fraser can't kick goals. He's kicked 2 points. Up the other end, Tony Hall's got 5. Copping's got 2. It's the difference. It happened yesterday. Norwood had goal kickers, the Panthers didn't. It's a much better kick from Fraser. Gee, that's a tremendous kick. Huge kick. That's his first goal. They needed it. 8-7 now to the Tigers, 14-10.
Yes, they've been in trouble all over the field. Bubner at centre-half forward, as Peter said, he's been tried in ruck. They've brought Moulds into ruck now to give Cousins a spell, but no matter what they do, it's Peter Carey playing a typical super game. He's destroyed them completely and setting up the opportunities in the bays without Tony McGuinness as well. But young Kidney's done a good job, and so has Motlop.
Carey again against Moulds. Big super easily. Baum ran past the ball. Through goes Alan Stringer. Shot out the handball. Talbot. Baum came in late. The umpire saw it. There's another free kick. No, take your pick. Take anything. Ball takes off. Carey, oh, he just made that, dropped it, gets rid of it. Kidney runs into trouble, out of trouble. He loses his shorts, kicks around the corner. Thomas can't mark the ball. He's still in there fighting though, shoots out the handball to Rowe. Hannah will get it next. And he'll clear out of defence. It's a floaty old kick, but it found Pryor. Gee, where are the dog running players? They're nowhere. Moulds or Van Dommel. In hot pursuit is Salisbury. He'll probably beat both of them. Shoots out the handball. Stringer. Talbot. Nothing wrong with that. Just a bit of strong body. It's what the game's all about, or it's supposed to be.
I agree with you, Peter, for sure. Talbot from centre wing. Finds Carey. Gee. Marshall. Now Simons. The bay's doing it so easily. Simons has got one to beat, playing cat and mouse with Vivian, but he finds big super. Gee, he's playing like a rover. He's all over the ground, making the space, doing it well. He'll think about a short pass, not one of his better ones, but it's Tony Hall, no, Copping, who gets the mark about 20 metres out in front. Carey has got to be so far best man on the ground, it's a joke. A marvellous individual performance. When you say individual, what a great team man he is. Copping. Oh, the ball starting to float away, but he just nudged it through. Copping gets goal number 3. The Tigers 15-10. The Bulldogs 8-7.
Well, that was like a little game of keepings off in there. They were just toying with the Dogs. It shouldn't happen in a final, but it is happening. Tiger big men have got in control. Their little men are loving it. They're going all over the ground, and the Bulldogs are left lamenting. Kinahan, by the way, not terribly conspicuous, but he's had 14 kicks, 7 marks and 8 handballs, so he's still right in the game.
20 minutes gone. Pryor's gone to centre wing. Bohm to the half-back flank. Kidney in. Couldn't get it. Carey could again to the half-forward line. Kinahan comes to meet it. Simons going past. He'll go. He left it behind. Unbelievable. He's still in there looking for it, grovelling on the ground. Bohm comes out with a footy. Well smothered off. Beautifully done there by Marshall. Straightens up 40 metres out. He's got a chance. Another one. Brilliant performance, Marshall. His second. And the Bays are absolutely killing the game as a contest. Not as a spectacle, but as a contest, it's over. 16-10, plays 8-7.
Well, it's an exhibition. Bohm really should have handballed that ball. It was on. And there are a few people around that say Marshall can't do hard things. That was pretty hard. Put his head right over that ball. And more importantly, after that, he recovered his composure and kicked his second. Glenelg 16-10, the Dogs 8-7.
Van Dommel, another player that can't get into the game. Carey against Cousins. Cousins gets that tap away towards Rowe. Vivian in there, trying to search for it is Farquhar. And finally, the umpire will come in for a bounce ball as McDermott gets to his feet.
51 points the difference. Gee, at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, you would have thought, how are the Bays going to get out of this one? Well, they're 8 goals, 3 in front at the moment. Can the Dogs come back? Pryor, he runs through half forward, kicked a goal in the first quarter when he was playing at half back, playing centre wing now, and that was one that was much needed, of course. They all are, but it was offline. 8-8 to 16-10.
Nothing going right for them now. 5 goals without a miss. Since then, they've kicked 3-8. Duthie looking for Carey as well. They might. Cousins there as well, taken by Krieg around the corner. Good mark, Phil Graham. Oh, he elected to play on. He's forced to play on now. Gets round on the right foot. That ought to be a goal. Oh, the kick is a shot. Well, I said before, I'll say it again, it's not their day.
It's a very swirly breeze at the moment here at Football Park. It's suddenly got a lot stronger. as Duthie kicks off. Gets plenty of distance. Gee, every bit of 55 metres. Carey used the body illegally. And there'll be a free kick out there to Richard Cousins. Well, the young chap would have learned a bit today against one of the best big men in the last 15 years in Australian footy, Peter Carey. I say that, of course, having spoken to a couple of the interstate guys he's played against. They reckon he's one of the best. Cousins goes short. The lead is on from Fraser, but in front there is Marshall. Through goes Salisbury. Kicks it out wide. Now Pryor and Talbot will have a go. Pryor's playing on the wing now. Talbot's right on him. He's got a bit of pace, Talbot. Through goes Bowen. He'll run that out. The umpire will throw it in. Tiger supporters delighted at the moment. They're looking ahead with some anticipation to next week already. Who was doing what to who then? I couldn't work it out. I think Carey might have had a hold of Cousins, actually. Kidney goes away, uses the left boot. Kernahan's under that ball, and Nolan takes a good mark.
Stephen Nolan, another Canberra recruit with Brett Hannum, drives to the outer side, looking over there for Cousins. Can't pull it down. Busting his way through. Stringer, Marshall again. Breaks clear, goes in now towards Hall. One grab, can't complete it. Quickly there is Hearn. He can't get rid of the footy, and the umpire will come in and bounce 20 metres out. Gee, Marshall's done some important things this afternoon. Kernahan has it on his own, tried to grab it, hooked it around the corner. Hearn back in defence, has time to clear. On the left foot, Vivian on the outer side. Simon's coming into the action now, but the ball is out of play inside the half-forward right flank. Approaching time on in the third quarter, 24 gone, 16-10 plays 8-9. Cousins and Kernahan. No one got the tap there. Vivian to Platten. He bounds off the half-back line on the left foot, hooks back towards half-forward. Fraser comes to meet it. Gibbs is there with him, and the umpire's paid the mark. The Dogs into attack now. Out goes Connolly in front of that player. Stringer won't get there. Geez, the live wire forward player they've got, he might be too far out to score. Moulds gives the lead. Doesn't want that player, although he could make the distance. He's a pretty strong kick. The breeze is going to help him. Connolly kicked 2 goals, one on the first and second, and I think he's added to it. That's his third. The Dogs certainly need a lift. 9-9 to 16-10.
You call it right in. He really is their only forward. The reason why he's playing well is that he's working hard. He's covering both sides of the ground. He's all over the place, and he's making a space. Poor old Cowboy doesn't want to know about it. Perhaps he shouldn't have turned up today. This hasn't worked out for him at all, but it's not over yet for the Dogs. They're still in the race.
Peter, they've got a kick into the breeze in the last quarter. I would think Neil Barn would be having a very close look at the Central players at the moment. Talbot sends him into attack again up towards the half-forward line. Stringer trying to break through. Hearn rubbers one around the corner towards the half-back line. Bohm gets the handball away. Marshall against Hannum. He ran straight through Marshall. A great dash at the ball. Sets it up for Cousins. He's got a running player out wide. Doesn't want him. The big fellow has a bounce himself. Puts out the lead now. Bubner coming to meet it, and he's grabbed it. Hasn't taken enough of them, however. He's got it about 45 metres out. He's taken 5 marks. Got his hands to quite a few, but he's been well tended by first Seabohm and now Farquhar. Bubner's kick is going to float offline. A point only, the Dogs 9-10. The Bay 7 goals clear.
Duthie kick off. 42 points the difference. Been a fine day for the Tigers, although they may have some problems with injury. Holst concussed. Seabohm with a bit of a problem there in the left buttock area, or the right side. Campbell tried to go through, couldn't. Simon shot it out to Kernahan. That was pretty slick. There's Marshall again. Creek's having a bad day. He's only had 6 kicks. Marshall runs through half forward. Dropped the ball, but had enough time to pick it up with his 13th kick. He goes forward. Watch Super Carey. Couldn't take it. Nearly did. McGrath off hands. Shoots it out short to Pryor. Talbot's on him. Tries to tap it through. He does now. Alan Stringer is there, and umpire Kinnear will bounce. Tigers have had a field day since the 8-minute mark of that first quarter. They've played some sweet football. They haven't had a passenger. Kernahan up. Cousins got it down. That was a high one. Tony Hall, the tackler. He's been the most productive forward today with 5 goals. Got a lot of ability, Tony Hall. Wayne Stringer, top defender. Now, which way is umpire Hilton going to read that? It's on again. I tell you what, they're not in love, those guys. There's a couple of bear hugs applied in there. Now, umpire Hilton ran in initially. I thought he was going to have a word to Stringer, but I think Stringer's going to be allowed to take the kick. He's been a good player, Stringer. He's taken some good marks in defence. It's his 9th kick.
I reckon umpire John Hilton just went in and whispered, "What are you doing Tuesday night, Peter?" And they all just bucked.
I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be a couple there. I think they better take their time magazines. They'll be waiting around for a while. Off it comes now to Hearn. Kicks around the corner with a floater. Not too good for the forwards. Stringer shoots it back. Talbot. It's pretty quick, Talbot. Runs through, and now Campbell runs into trouble. Off hands it goes to Platt. Got players running forward for him. One of them is Van Dommel. If it bounces, he's in business. Salisbury's a tough man. Got caught, though, on the handball. The umpire's going to give him a free one, though, for a high tackle.
The Dogs frustrated, no question about it. Salisbury, another fine performer. Gee, I can't think of a Bay player that hasn't contributed. Salisbury towards centre wing. Kernahan the leaper. Bohm over the top. Stringer waiting for it. Duthie, not Duthie, that was Talbot. Gave Campbell a chance, drives in long, looking in there now for Hall, copping there as well. Over the top, a fine mark to Jamie Thomas, and he's got it in the back pocket. Returns the ball towards centre field, looking for Cousins. Kernahan at the back, showing a lot of pace going through there with the Milky, but gee, he cannon into the back of Botlop, and he's going to get a free kick. Now he'd have to go back over his mark and take the ball. Gibbs bolted off with it.
He kicked a drop kick, didn't he?
Yeah, I saw one of those in 1963, I think, Peter.
Believe it.
Oh, yes. Gibbs, well, it comes from Western Australia, Peter. I think they've still got dry grounds over there or something. Mark Motlop from centre field to put the phase into attack. Carey's going to come in behind. Big fellow just mows down the pack, but I think the mark has been paid to Thomas right in the middle, and he's at centre half back. And I would think Cowboy Neil, apart from being disappointed, would be wondering just what moves he can make to get some of the Bulldogs out of their lethargy.
Up they go. No mark in there to Fraser. Krieg's in there trying, so is Ross Gibbs. I hope Ross Gibbs gets another kick today. Wouldn't mind seeing another droppy. Umpire Hilton's going to bounce it. Attack side of centre wing for the Tigers. Gibbs runs away from the pack. The crowd give him a yell again, and Kernahan comes in, but beaten by Cousins, down to Platten. Platten's quick kick away is not terribly effective. Salisbury just left it behind, and Van Dommel took it off him. Through he goes. Here's a chance for the Dogs. Gee, they should score here. Oh, the handball went straight past Connolly. He's back on it now, though. Philip Graham will score if he's got enough. Onto the left boot. That's the way he likes it, but he's hooked it far too far. Oh, there it is. Out on the full. Well, that says a lot. Bulldogs can do nothing right at all. Duthie returned the ball. Gibbs thought about jumping, then thought better of it. Through comes Salisbury. Like a Sherman tank, the handball missed. Now Krieg hasn't been in it at all. Shoots it back, Marshall traps it. In comes Motlop. Didn't quite know what to do with that one. Alan Stringer's got it. The siren's gone. Another big quarter for the Bays. They're 16-10 to the Dogs, 9-10. Last quarter of the qualifying final about to begin. The Dogs trailing by 7 goals. Can they get back into it? Carey, best big man on the ground, takes it out, shoots the handball back to centre. Marshall couldn't pick it up. Through goes Vivian. Gee, the Dogs centre line has been appalling. Platten's found it hard to get into the game. The umpire's going to bounce that one. 16-10 to 9-10.
He hasn't had a lot of help from his big men, Peter, has he?
No, you're right, Ian. Carey has destroyed them. Really has. Cousins got that one. Gave it a big thump. Through goes Platten. Shot it out to give Fraser the chance. Oh, the tackle went on. It was a good tackle from McFarlane. He didn't push him. And Ross Gibbs has got it now. Could have had Carey, but elected to go longer. Alan Stringer through it went. Connolly, probably the Dogs' best player, Connolly. He's a long way from home. He's got a free kick. I wonder if he's having a run on the ball. I somewhat doubt it, although...
Going to run without a boot.
Yeah, I think the Urban Cowboy, Coach Neil, may have pulled some changes. We might pick them up for you in a minute. McDermott, Talbot. Talbot's been useful. He's a very quick player indeed. Robin Kidney shoots a long one in, Copping, couldn't mark the ball. Ball got clean bowled. Now Bungahoon tries to pick it up. Grubbers one out towards the boundary line. It's worked for him. It's just rolled out now. The umpire will throw it in, left half forward flank for the Tigers.
He had no one to kick it to, Peter. 16-10 plays 9-10. David Bubner coming back onto the ground for the injured Peter Krieg by the looks of things. Krieg hasn't had a big afternoon at all, but gee, got a lot of mates out there. The Dogs' performance too bad to be true. Interested to see what Kevin Neal says after the game. But in the back lines, it's Cousins. Bubner back on the ground, goes in short, will find Bone. He entered the game just short of half-time when Mark Norsworthy was stretched off the arena. He's dazed, according to Robert Odie, as is David Holst of the Bays. Marshall over the top, through went Snout McFarlane, but a free kick goes to Connolly. He still hasn't got his shoe on. Maybe he runs better that way. Kick number 11, Connolly. I would have thought he'd had more than that as he drives to the half-forward line. Wayne String had a good afternoon. Gets it over to Vivian, or the handball away is not good. Campbell under pressure now. Trying to get it out is Bubner. There he is now. Hooks around the corner. Here's a chance for Centrals. Big leap over there by Pryor. Not successful. And the ball is bottled up 30 metres out in front of the Dog goal.
They need a couple of quick goals, the Dogs. Get some momentum going and try to kick on from there. And the other thing, of course, is if they're going to play the Redlegs next week, they want to finish off well today rather than down. Connolly appears to have gone to centre. Bosworthy is there, having a look at the game, and he looked in all sorts of trouble as he was stretched off the ground. Smother by Marshall. That's the second time he's done that today. Through goes McGrath. Back it goes to Nolan. Big chance here for the Dogs. Thought Trevor Rose run the wrong way. Out it goes to Platten. He's caught. Cole back to Nolan. Gee, they've conceded 30 metres. Van Dobble's got it now. Really had his boot pulled off. He sets it up from 40 metres and misses. 9-11 the Dogs. Glenelg 16-10.
Well, Peter, they've made some chances for themselves, but gee, they've missed some easy ones. 9-11 to 16-10. Duthie looks for Carey. Cousins there with him. Carey almost. Motlop going to get a free kick as Van Dommel takes it away. Plus 15 metres. Motlop's had a lot of dash. He's been playing very well in the reserves, and he got a chance that was justly due to him when Tony McGuinness pulled out with an injury. John Seabohm took a heavy knock in the bottom, or the buttock, maybe the coccyx bone, but whatever. He was limping noticeably. Motlop to send the Bays into attack. High to the half-forward line. Kernahan out in front of Hannon. Made position well. Hannon tried to use his body to keep him away from the flight. But Kernahan too strong in the air, and he's got it 45 metres out. He could make the distance from here. It's his 8th mark. 16th kick. Stephen Kernahan booted one in the first quarter. Any breeze will be helping him. Kick underway, not one of his better ones. It's going to be close. Right back there, Cousins. Quickly now, Copping looks to pass off. Alan Stringer there if he gets to sit on the ball. Turns nicely round onto the left leg. Hooks the ball back. Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a point. Gee, that seemed to be coming back as the umpire came back with him. But the ball must have just gone over the post. 1 point only, Stringer. 16-12, or is it 11? Glenelg. 9-11 Central.
Showed a lot of pace then, Alan Stringer, as he darted around and got onto that left boot. There's another Bay supporter there. They'd be pretty happy about proceedings so far, although game's never over till the bell. There's the Dogs' best player, Stephen Connolly, now playing centre. Gee, there's a bit of blood around the old nose there. 12th kick, Connolly. McFarlane. Rowe missed it on the run through. McFarlane again. Vivian might get a free kick. He's going to play it on. Ray runs through half forward. Salisbury not sure what to do. Platten might kick his 3rd. Sets it up. He's done it. Well, they need them. They need plenty. 3 goals, Platten. The Dogs 10-11, the Tigers 16-11.
The crowd upset with the umpire, but he was quite right. The Dogs had it to their advantage in any case. Had they brought the ball back, they wouldn't have got the run. Maybe the Bay stopped, but Platten's kicked 3 goals from 14 kicks, and they'll need a few more of those. They still trail by 6 goals, and we're into the 6-minute mark of the final quarter.
What breeze there is favouring the southern end. Glenelg are going that way. The Dogs have got a little bit of a spark, though, at the moment. They look just a fraction better to me. Up goes the big chap, Cousins, got a big smash away. Simons, very clever, got the left boot to it. Bohm got a bad bounce. Alan Stringer went through like a man possessed. He's got the ball now. Carey, short to Simons. Brilliant stuff, Peter Carey. Simons run through half forward. Looks great when he runs away, Simons. Kick wasn't great. That was a point. 16-12 the Tigers. The Dogs at 10-11.
What a game Alan Stringer's played as well too. Gee, he's hurt the Dog defence physically as well as whatever he's done off his boot. The kick in is going to drop short. Marshall in front gets the tap away. Stringer again. He's got Simons out. Had to wait for it, but he's got time to set it up. Puts it high in towards full forward. In front is Hall, copping there as well. Quickly Campbell. Hall wants it out if he can get it out to him. They go in. Quickly now it's Robin Kidney. Smothered off the boot. Carey again on the left leg. Wobbles one in. Oh, the bounce favours Copping, but it went over his head as well, and Hannum thumped it through his own goal line. 16-13 to 10-11.
Well, will we see the Bulldogs fight back into it, or will Glenelg just continue to play well and record an easy win? We're 7.5 minutes into this last quarter. The Tigers will be pretty happy, although they tell me it's going to be a busy Tuesday night, tribunal style. Cousins bounces it back towards Vivian. He's caught. Good tackle, Simons. Alan Stringer again. Back to Carey. Seen that happen a couple of times. Now Kernahan will get it now. We'll think about Simons. Off he goes. He hooks it back. He must have heard a voice. It was Snout McFarlane. Well, they all want to get into the act. Can't blame them.
Hey, gee, Snout doesn't often have a shot for goal, Peter, and I bet all the players are ribbing him about it too. Look at the confident grin on his face. The Bays are having fun at the moment.
He's kicked a few goals in his time, the old Snout. He remember he hit the post down the Bay in 1975, and we were 49 goals at that stage. The players have never let Johnny McFarlane forget that one either. Made the distance, but didn't get the accuracy. 16-14 to 10-11. The momentum has really gone out of the game a bit. I guess it's really up to the Bulldogs to make a game of it. I don't think you'll see Glenelg really put too much into it. I think they'll do enough to win comfortably.
Oh, Peter, they've had a wonderful forward line there with Copping, Carey, Hall, Kernahan, Stringer, all to mark the ball when it comes in high. Connolly hooks around the corner. Stringer will go hard for this one again. Gets it down to Campbell, but in doing so, he's given away a free kick. He went at it a little too hard. Richard Cousins from centre half back drives to the lead of Fraser. Gets it down now to Vivian. Simons, Carey again. The running player out there is Talbot, short to Kernahan. The big fellow's going to have to work hard. Joined there by Hall. Hearn getting back close to the line. Can't keep it in play. 16-14 to 10-11. Mark Norsworthy, who was obviously concussed when he was stretchered off, about to come back into the action. Good to see he's okay. Cousins behind. Hannum. Look for Platten. Pryor back in defence. Nolan's waiting for the ball to come out. Gets it back to Platten. Sells the pup well. Hannon, no, that is Nolan again. Oh, here's a chance now for Central. Quickly now, Connolly makes the break. Gets on the left leg. Goes in high. Holding his ground well there is Farkle and takes a fine defensive mark.
Plays it on to McFarlane. Shoots it out there towards Stringer. That's Wayne Stringer, now Ross Gibbs. Gibbs takes off through half-back. Geez, at half pace at the moment. Very casual. Marshall. That's how easy it is. Marshall takes his time. Copping's leading to the grandstand side. Beautiful pass. Copping nearly had it. Played it out towards Stringer. Copping bundled out. Now Bone. And he had the boundary, but he gave it to Simons. Simons is a clever player. He's in trouble now, though. That's holding the ball. Oop, there's a bit of heavy stuff in there. Bone will get the free kick. Gee, the moment you say someone's clever, they get caught holding the ball. That's the way it goes. Boom. Kicks along to centre wing. Fraser in front. Good mark. Haven't seen enough of him though. A lot of dog players just haven't done enough. We go towards Cousins. Carey intercepted, but Cousins stood his ground. Carey, great work, the big fella. Campbell couldn't pick it up. He taps it out as well. It's a bit of a scoop out there to Marshall. Shoots around to the left foot. Popping, left it. Away goes Hearn. Hearn's got Pryor. It's a big space out now there for the Dogs. Pryor's got plenty of room to move. Off he goes. Connolly wants it. Pryor wants to give it to him, but it won't work. McFarlane's got the run of it. Gee, a Dog player went down, and he'll get a free kick. Oh, he went down heavily too. Looks like Moulds. Not Moulds, it's Connolly. Geez, worked hard, Connolly. He really has. He's found his boot too, which is fairly appropriate if you're playing a game of footy. 15 kicks now. Puts it in long. Moulds is there, went up far too early. Punching away was Duthie. Now the umpire will have a bounce. 10-11, 16-14, the Tigers easily at this stage. They lead by 6-3. We're over 12 minutes into the last quarter. Bounce down right near the Bulldog goal. Duthie punches towards the boundary line. Ross Gibbs had the run of it, then lost it. He's got the run of it now, though.
Gibbs on the left leg, goes long back towards centre wing. Out there it's Pryor, who reads the ball well. Drives back in towards full forward. Coming to meet it is Bubner, got up very high. Couldn't bring down the footy. Working hard for the ball now is Moulds. The big fellow's clear towards the open goal. I think he stumbled it through. Goal number 2. The Dogs not turning it up by any stretch of the imagination, but they've still got a big hill to climb.
He's only had 3 kicks, Moulds, and he's kicked 2 goals, 1. It's a good conversion rate, but again, like a lot of his colleagues, hasn't done quite enough. 16-14 plays 11-11. There's still enough time in this game if the Dogs are good enough, but that's the question, are they good enough?
Centre bounce, Carey ought to be getting tired. Put in a mammoth performance. He gets it out to Kidney. In turn, Talbot. The Bays go into attack again. Copping. Out there is Hall as well, but first back to the ball will be Hearn. Can't keep it in play, and a throw-in will take place 25 metres around. 16-14 to 11-11. Who would have thought that score would be on the board now when the Dogs were 5 goals up to nothing, 8 minutes into the game. Throw in. Cousins and Kernahan. Cousins tap. Norsworthy quickly back into the game. Hooks around the corner. Nolan at the back. In front was Campbell. Nolan has been paid the mark. Half-back flank. Nice looking kick towards centre wing. But it's, well, mark have to go to the Bay player out there, and that's Talbot. As Peter said, he's been a useful player.
Certainly has been Talbot. 15 kicks coming up. He's been right in it. He's taken 6 marks as well. Played pretty well. Wayne Stringer. Been a useful player also. Uses the left boot on that occasion. Copping goes back. Kernahan stayed there. Good mark. 10th mark, Kernahan. And coach Cowboy Neal would be devastated at this stage. I think this is it. If Kernahan kicks a goal here, I couldn't see the Dogs getting back into it. Been another big performance by Kernahan. 17 kicks. He only just that time. 2 goals. 17-14 the Tigers. The Dogs 11-11.
Yes, Wayne Stringer's been a great player on the half-back flank. He's a tough player like his brother. He rebounds well. He reads the play well. And I would think Graham Campbell would be delighted with his team's performance. He couldn't have been too happy in that first 8 minutes. But, gee, they've come back like a top side. And if there's anyone going to be a favourite in the final, it's got to be the Bays. But Port Adelaide supporters would have other ideas about that. 17-14 to Central's 11-11.
Back to the centre, and Tiger captain Super Carey still on the ball. What a great performance. Up goes Cousins. He got it down, but only to McDermott. The kick away went to Baum. He can play on. Got plenty of pace, Baum. Shoots it out long. There's no one home, though. Platten nearly took it off hands, but it was Wayne Stringer who read it better than anybody. He'll swing it out wide if he can. Looking for McFarlane, but chipping in and taking a good mark as Vivian. Got Norsworthy short. Norsworthy's got it now, but nowhere to go. Concedes ground, then he puts it back from whence it came. Gee, not very effective, that movement. Free kick's going to go to Marshall. He didn't have it when the tackle was applied.
Yes, the Dogs have been indirect. They really haven't had a winner across half forward, except Connolly. Kicked number 16 towards the half forward line. Kernahan gets a dream run behind the pack, puts in the short pass, Copping on the lead. That's where the ball finishes, and he's got it 35 metres out. Stephen Copping thought about Motlop. Motlop thought about leading, gave it away. Kick number 10, Copping. Nice looking kick. Oh no, he's just wandered it offline. A point only. 17-15 to 11-11.
He's kicked 2 goals, Stephen Copping. 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Kicked 2 in the third, Stephen Copping. He's kicked 3 goals, in fact. So he's done his job. He's there to chip in like that, and we must bear in mind he's got that pretty solid groin injury, which he carries from week to week. They're pretty hard to shrug off, they tell me. Sometimes require an operation. Rowe. Thomas reported in the third quarter for an attack on Marshall. Carey stands his ground. Cousins nearly plucked it. McDermott. Campbell. Very slick. Back to Campbell from McFarlane. Simons wants it, and he'll get it. Just. Clever player, Tony Simons. Over it goes. Campbell. Oh, the handball put him in trouble. Pushing the back, though. Campbell will get a free kick. Well, Glenelg are not very effective at the moment. They're finessing a bit. That's not paying off. Campbell's got it. Right half forward flank. He'll put it in long. The big chap's there. Kernahan can't get a run at that one. Motlop, no. Paul thought about it. No one went for it eventually, and Thomas put it out to Hannum.
Hannum strides clear, kicks long, back towards centre field. Getting underneath it was Connolly. A big leap there by Van Dommel, and he's paid the mark to that play. Van Dommel, centre field. Out wider still is Nolan. Nolan in a bit of trouble, gets it back to Van Dommel. He in turn runs into a pocket. Vivian, if he's got the pace, can't get clear. Pryor can. Forward pocket, hooks around the corner in towards goal. Platten at the back. One grab, the umpire has not paid it. In goes Salisbury at the bottom of the pack where he normally is, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball in the left full forward pocket for the Dogs. 18.5 gone, 17-15 to 11-11. And a lot of the fire has gone out of the game. Gee, was it ever fire in that second quarter? It was on for young and old. A few people left the ground. Gibbs under pressure. Whoop. Shugs the tackle, got away, hooks it back towards Nolan, and he's got it on the half forward. Whoop. That wasn't a smart thing to do. He'll probably find he's lost the footy. Campbell said thank you very much. Carey's going to give it back to him. Umpire John Hilton just explained to Nolan why, in fact, the crowd just cheered. Peter, was that, did an umpire speak to Nolan?
Well, I think an umpire.
I think the boundary umpire.
Boundary umpire,
Yeah,
I think it was.
him.
Well, if he has, it could be 4 or 5 today. That'll be a huge night, Tuesday night. They might like to make another night of it. Through goes Motlop. Goes in long. Big mark there by Hall. Always been a top forward. Been a lot of spite in this game, and whilst one can never condone that as a part of our game, it certainly adds to the colour and excitement of it. Tony Hall has been a top player. This will be his 8th kick. He's kicked 5-1 from his first 7 kicks. With a conversion rate like that, he'd be delighted, as would his coach, colleagues and supporters. There's another one. 6 goals, Tony Hall. He's top goal kicker for today. 18-15 to 11-11.
The Bay forwards have had it pretty easy, really, when you consider the number of the times the ball is being sent in. Simons at centre wing, Marshall centre, young Talbot on the other side, Alan Stringer, Stephen Kernahan. Campbell's joined into the act now, and the 2 Rovers, Motlop and Kidney. The ball's been coming in plenty of times, and they've done their side proud. 18-15 to 11-11.
Back to the centre. Carey still on the ball. Big Cousins in there, fighting to the end. He'll take that one on his own. Now Motlop. It's been a live wire. uses the left boot. Talbot and Pryor. The punch back towards Motlop. Now Van Dommel. Over the top towards Platten. Got out of that pretty well. The handball away was inaccurate, but McGrath now picks it up. Fraser. Hasn't been in it enough, Fraser. He wants Graham, but he won't get him. Norsworthy's bundled off the ball. Through goes Graham again. But it's Wayne Stringer who fights hard, but Platten's got it now. Sets it up from 40 metres out. I think he's accurate with that. He is. 4 goals, Platten, so he's still in it. He won't give up. 18-15 Glenelg, the Dogs 12-11.
Yes, well done, Johnny Platten. It hasn't been one of his big days, but then again, he hasn't had the opportunities. Normally, a player of his ability makes his own opportunities, but simply the Dogs haven't had the ball often enough. 18-15 to 12-11. 4 goals is still a fine contribution.
Far too good the Bays at this stage. They're doing it easy. 18-15 plays 12-11. The big chap, Cousins, got up. McDermott snared it. Through it goes to Stringer. He punches it out to give Simons the run of it. Tony Simons now. We're at 22 minutes. He wants Kernahan. It wasn't a bad kick. Kernahan couldn't mark it. Off hands now, Tony Hall. Kernahan in late. Down goes Bowen. It's a free kick in there for a push, and Jamie Thomas has got it. He'll take off now. No, he's got to come back. He picked the ball up, went for the run, and in fact it's going to go to Vivian. The veteran wingman shoots to the centre of the ground. Gee, that's a bit of a danger kick. Off hands Gibbs. He goes in long with a fine torpedo punch. What torpedo kick, should I say? Tony Hall couldn't mark it. It's a point. 18-16 the Tigers. The Dogs are 12-11.
Over 22 minutes gone. A lot of the crowd leaving now. First semi-final next week is going to be Central Districts against Norwood, and the second semi-final Port Adelaide and Glenelg. That smacks of yesteryear. What a game that should be, both of them. Thomas hooks back towards centre wing. Platten over the top was Cousins, kicked forward by Kidney, not well directed, and Thomas takes yet another mark. He's inside the half-back line, looking a little weary as he climbs to his feet. Returns the ball towards centre wing. Cousins gets his hands to this one, takes a nice mark. Peter Carey might be just getting a little tired. The umpire said play on. Carey did it well. McDermott. Alan Stringer now gets the handball across, copping a chance. Heads towards the open goal. Used his left foot for some reason. Maybe the right one is the one that's got the groin strain, but the left foot was unsuccessful, and he boots the Bays' 17th point.
18-17, 12-11. 6 goals, 5. So they've done it pretty easily. Grath kicks out on this occasion to Rowe. Rowe dropped what he should have taken, then he ran out of bounds nearly. McGrath came through. Motlop, clever, over the top. Thomas, McGrath. Gee, the boot's going everywhere at the moment. Vivian gets around Peter Carey, as you'd expect he should. Ross Gibbs, good interception there. Gee, read that ball well, fine judgment. 15-metre penalty against the Dog player there in Van Dommel. Ross Gibbs is taking all the time he wants. 10th kick, Ross Gibbs. It's a fine one. Covered every bit of 60 metres, but it went straight to McGrath.
McGrath, one boot short at centre half back. The Dog defence has been under severe strain all afternoon. Adams played pretty well. Been in the rough and tumble of things. Kicks back towards centre field. Big leap, Platten. Oh, what a mark. Gee, got over the top of Stringer, did it brilliantly. Platten from centre field to send the Dogs into attack. A long kick looking for Bubner, but it's going to drop short. Gibbs couldn't. Bubner gave it across Pryor. Pryor needs help there. Nolan now butters up, hooks around the corner. In fact, he didn't hook around the corner. It just went straight out off the boot and out on the full, and we're into time on the final quarter.
Duthie's going to take the kick off. The kick out long. Kernahan is out there. Up he goes. The big chap couldn't take the mark. Platten in there fighting. Also Talbot. Can't pick it up either now. Bubner. Pryor. Platten again. 17 kicks John Platten. Puts it out wide. Appears to be
Nolan
out there. Shoots it up high. Up goes Norsworthy. Oh, it was a big leap. Didn't pay off though. Duthie gave it over to Wayne Stringer. Stringer to Simons. Simons will run through the centre. He's had 20 kicks and he shot out a long handball then. That's Talbot. Fine player, Talbot. Carey's up there at full forward. He's got up the big tack. Oh, big mark. Stood his ground. One must feel a little bit sorry for Brett Hannum. He's had the big tall timber up there and they've just been a bit too much to handle. Big super Carey. 15th kick coming up. He's taken 9 big marks. He's had 10 handballs. Been a great player. Puts it through for his first goal for today, Peter Carey. Fine performance. 19-17 Glenelg. The Dogs 12-11.
Gee, the big fellow will sleep well tonight. I don't think he'll be looking to go out discoing. He's been a marvellous player over the years for the Bays, and he seems to be getting better as he gets older. But that was a fine mark. He stood his ground, and you can see on the screen there now the difference in height. And simply, as we mentioned before the game started in our preamble, that who were the Bays or who were the Dogs going to put on the tall players of Kernahan and Carey to try to stop them to their aerial supremacy? They didn't have one.
Well, Coach Campbell, the Tiger coach, has walked down onto the field now, and he'll be pretty happy. Out it goes there towards Graham. Norsworthy wobbles it forward. Platten and Salisbury. Nolan there. Salisbury as tough as they come. Over the top goes Campbell. Tony Simons runs away with it. Shoots it up forward. Alan Stringer up high and takes a strong mark. He's been a top player, Alan Stringer. 12th kick. Shoots it out wide. Stephen Copping on a lead. He'll get swamped. Jamie Thomas off hands now. Simons again. G. Hearn's out there fighting against insurmountable odds. But here's a go for the Dogs. Pryor's got an open paddock to work in. Talbot will run him down if he gives him the chance. Van Dommel should go in long. Moulds lumbers out from the square. Duthie will go for the punch. It does it very effectively. Bubner hasn't been in it. Moulds comes through the pack. Shoots out the long handball. Connolly had to get rid of it quickly. Platten ran past the ball. Got a bad bounce. He's in there again though. Players everywhere. And the umpire will give it a bounce.
Must be close to the final siren. 28 minutes gone. And the Bay camp obviously very happy. And what can you say for the Dogs? Well, they've got another chance against the Legs next week. They're not out of it by a long stretch. Farquhar got his opportunity when Russell pulled out, hooks around the corner to the outer side. Pryor's there. Talbot's doing it well as well. And he's got 2-on-1 before Stringer comes to join him. And the umpire will bounce the ball on the half-forward right flank to the outer side. 19-17 to 12-11. A lead now, what's that, 31, 48 points after they stood them up a 30-point start. Talbot on the left leg. Kicks long to the half-forward line. Out there is Hall. Can't get his fingers to it. Back in defence is Rowe. Goes to Hearn. He's worked hard, but having said that, a shocking kick, and it finds Campbell. Campbell in turn goes to the half-forward line. Simons up. Motlop in there as well. Well read by Bohm as he comes onto the left leg. Kicks it into the vacant paddock. Vivian gets a nice sit on the ball over centre wing. Kicks long to the lead of Platten. He's going to have to work hard close to the line. Platten there, nose over the ball, gives the handball away. Not a good one. Motlop, Salisbury, Platten left it behind. Simons didn't, and he hooked it back towards centre wing.
Bit of a floater. Good spoil away there by Alan Stringer. Pretty popular boy with the Bay crowd. The coach is having a word.
Don't believe you.
Not entirely inappropriate from the coach. Kernahan puts it out towards Marshall, top player today. Had a quiet last quarter, but did he ever burn in that third quarter? Away goes Van Dommel. Hasn't been in it. He'll have to use the left boot. Short, Platten. Platten's been quietly effective, although his stats look pretty good. That's his 18th kick. He's kicked 4 goals. Might be 5 now. Puts it up with a long kick. No one home for the Dogs, and a good mark taken by Ross Gibbs. Gibbs shoots it out to Duthie. Solid attack on the ball there.
Gibbs has been cool and effective, Peter.
Yes, he has, Ian. I saw him in the... Well, we saw him in the back pocket earlier in the year, and he was a bit loose. There it is. It's all over. Glenelg have won the right to play Port Adelaide next Sunday in the second semi-final. The Bulldogs will have to do battle with the Redlegs. 19-17 Glenelg to the Dogs 12-11.